light, so cold, sleep is nice. So tired, my eyes fight, they just wanna close back up tight. Get up, hoodie on, hard work at the crack of dawn. This life ain't for the weak ones, no, this life pure only for the strong. Feeling slow, shake it off, don't got time for negative thoughts. Red sight, got the dot, shoot my shot, I want the top. Never lost, got my plot, know my story, I know my boss. I will fight against the clock, time's a limited gift from God. One day I will have my victory, crush all my enemies so viciously. Work so hard my hands are blistering, and they will carve my name in history.
What is up, everybody? June 26, 2026, closing out the month of June strong with episode 30 of the Forbidden Podcast. This is yours truly, Nick Fiore, creator of FioriousNation, and co-host number 1 of Forbidden Podcast. Right next to me on my right, Adam Carl, co-host number 2 of Forbidden Podcast. And as you see, this camera once again working. Man, closing out the month, June strong, going right into the summer in July, man. And man, we got a big weekend packed of wrestling to talk about. Not much news in the wrestling community, maybe one or two stories that others talked about, covered in previous episodes, but not much coming out of this week outside of going into 4 PLE/pay-per-view shows this weekend, tomorrow, Saturday, and going into this Sunday. But Adam Carl, first things first, I got to ask you, how are we doing, brother?
Fantastic. Yeah, I've been doing very good, and I've been enjoying life so far. I've been watching the World Cup lately. It's been a lot of fun.
Yes, that's been going around.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
We're heading into an exciting summer.
What a time to be alive, bro, as a sports fan. And for all you sports fans out there, I mean, we got the New York Knicks winning the NBA Finals recently against the San Antonio Spurs. We got the World Cup, as Adam Carl said. Really exciting times with that as well. We got the MLB, obviously. We got NFL football coming up this September. I'm hoping better for the New York Giants and the NFL, but we will see, because the past decade and a half, they've pretty much sucked. But time will tell what happens this fall. But so far, 2026 has been the year of sports as far as like the ball with the sports is concerned. Not much wrestling. I wish I could say the same with wrestling. With WWE and AEW, really no excitement this year also far with wrestling as far as that goes, but though excitement for like sports as far as like basketball, like using like the ball of the sport is concerned. Basketball, football, soccer, or over in Europe they call it football. Here in America we call it soccer, or in baseball, stuff like that, etc., etc. Even the Stanley Cup finals, or the NHL hockey, the Stanley Cup not long ago as well. So pretty big year this year with sports involving the ball is concerned, bro. So
yeah,
it's crazy, and soccer just getting so popular these days too.
Yeah.
I mean, to my opinion, two of the greatest players, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Two legends, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
Two goats.
I think the other day there was like Spain playing.
Yeah, I think it was Brazil. They won 3-0. And they advanced to the round of 32.
Yeah. And I think America played as well.
I think, yeah, and they also qualified.
Yes, it's like
They finished first in their group, even though they lost to Turkey.
Yeah, you got France involved as well. You got France. You got
Norway.
Norway, Sweden, Ireland, Finland.
Ireland isn't in the World Cup, unfortunately.
I wish.
Yeah,
I wish.
Egypt is in the tournament. Yeah, my country.
Yeah, Egypt. Nice. Egypt is there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Australia.
Argentina, obviously.
I think Australia's in there.
Yeah, Australia's in it. Argentina, Portugal, obviously. Colombia.
Yes. Does Mexico have soccer? Mexico or not Mexico?
Yeah, Mexico's in it. I think they're one of the hosts of the tournament, and they also advanced. They finished first in their group.
I think Canadian or Canada or obviously got to be the UK, England. Got to be England, the UK. Got to be. obviously.
Yeah. Well, Canada, yeah, they're also one of the hosts. I mean, this tournament, the hosts are the U.S., Canada, and Mexico.
Pretty sweet. And they've been playing recently in MetLife Stadium.
That's nice.
For the FIFA World Cup. Could only imagine how expensive those tickets are, though, to go to that.
Yeah, Canada also qualified. So all three host nations have qualified. That's nice.
Pretty sick. I love it. Though I could imagine how expensive it is going to that live, the FIFA World Cup tickets. I can only imagine how expensive they are with everything in the economy in the U.S. being everything up in prices nowadays. I can only imagine how expensive those tickets are. I mean, MLB tickets are not cheap. Neither are the NFL tickets. That's even, I mean, both are expensive. I think NFL being the more expensive, but like MLB game is expensive. Going away Yankee game or a Mets game or wherever city you're at, whatever your favorite baseball team is. Doesn't even have to be like a New York. Like if you're from New York, doesn't have to be a New York favorite team. You can have any, like whether you're like the Dodgers or the Atlanta Braves or the St. Louis Cardinals or the Tampa Bay Rays, et cetera, Though me, I'm a New York guy. Me coming from New York State myself, fan of obviously the New York Yankees. They're doing decent MLB and baseball league. Mets not so much. Wish I could say the same about the Mets.
Yeah.
But you catch my drift. It's like to go to any sports game these days is expensive, and it's not cheap anymore. It's almost the price have almost doubled. Can't even take families to games much or events much anymore, and it's a shame. You wish you could. You just got to lower the prices, But anyways, enough of me rambling on, getting off topic. But we welcome you to episode 30 of Forbidden Podcast. Can you believe it? 30 episodes, and there's only going to be a lot more. And I got to say this, and I think this calls for it. Thank goodness I have my drink. I hope you do too, bro. Here is the 30 episodes of Forbidden Podcast, and here is the 30 more. Oh.
Wait, hang on.
Well, it looks like he's going to get a nice beverage to drink. He's, no worries, folks. Don't hang up. Brace yourselves, folks. He's going to get a nice cold beverage. He's going to get a nice cold drink. Not sure what he's going to be drinking, but he's going to get a nice cold drink. Ah, damn. Took my little drink early, but... He's going to go get his nice little drink.
Back now.
There we go. So I wonder what you're drinking, bro.
Well, I have two. Well, I don't drink alcohol, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Good. I don't drink either, but...
I have some chocolate juice.
Nice. So here is to 30 episodes of Forbidden Podcast and to 30 and many, many more.
So
cheers,
good.
Adam Carl. Cheers, bro.
Cheers. So good. So good.
Feels nice and refreshing. Damn good. But, man, excited what we're going to talk about today. Not much excitement in the wrestling world still in 2026. Not much news, but that's what happens when there's no excitement. And the product is not fun. I respect Triple H, but he was on a interview with Stephen A. Smith. Not a big fan. Said it's like, oh, the wrestling community. It's just wrestling. It's something about the product being. It's like the people forget the product is. You got to have fun. I'm sorry, Paul Levesque. The product is not fun. It's not fun. Like there's no excitement. I mean, there are stories, but there's not much. Like. Don't get me wrong. The WWE product is not bad, like bad, Vince, like bad shows, what have you, and like just bad beyond. But there's just, I think the key problem of why the WWE product has not been good the past year or so, why the product has suffered or has been boring or stale, the better way to put it, is just there's not much going on. There's nothing to really sink your teeth into. There's nothing to really invest your time in to get so excited for. Like you don't feel anything. and we have the bloodline. Like, we've seen it, we've been through that before, and fans just want something different and something exciting, fresh, and new. And right now, we're not getting that in WWE, and we're not getting that in AEW either. Really, all wrestling this year is just like last year. They're in a freaking lull right now. There's just in the slump that there's like they're just stuck in a rut, and they're still not out of that rut. I think that's the big issue here. There's like it's not worse than Vince, but it could be much better, and we could be having a lot more excitement, and I wish we had that, but we don't have any, and that's really a problem. And people are not wrong to complain about that. I feel the same way too with the constant commercials. I mean, if you had a better product, I don't think maybe many commercials wouldn't be a problem, but it's just, I think it all factors down to the creative, but it's just, there's no excitement right now. There really is no excitement is the perfect way to put it. I don't know how I could say it better. And shout out to Mitch, by the way, says congrats on episode 30, guys. Thank you so much, Mitch. It means a lot coming from you, bro. And here's toast to you, Mitch, with 30 episodes and many more. Thank you so much, Mitch. It means the world to me. Remember that. But Adam Carl, I mean, I know, and you'd say the same thing too. There's no excitement. I mean, look at like Forbidden Door. No, I mean, wait, Forbidden Door. Wait, no, that's not the name. I think that's Forbidden Bore, Forbidden Snore, Forbidden Dark Lore, for the Forbidden Door, the Rematch Door, the Boring Door, the AEW Door, the I wish I could have closed forever door.
For real.
Just there's no excitement in all wrestling right now. It's both WWE and AEW.
Literally. I think they need something new to do, and some maybe some fresh characters,
Yeah,
some fresh ideas, some new storylines, instead of recycling the same thing.
Yeah, it's rehashed now with the Bloodline, which I'm not excited for at all.
Yeah.
We got the Vision. It's just not working out. Danhausen is the highlight of this year. When you have him as the highlight, that's a problem. When everything else is not good, that's a glaring
issue. He's teaming with Matt Cardona, who seems to be turning into Zack Ryder, calling him Zack.
We got The Miz being cursed, Kit Wilson being cursed. I'm like, please get this off my fucking TV. And now you see why I can't wait for SmackDown to go back to 2 hours, and I can't wait for CM Punk to get back to WWE television, because they absolutely need him. And his presence is absolutely felt and missed. And you see why now you see the shows being not good with him not around, unless he's around, because him around makes the shows better. Yeah,
they need that spark,
that heart and soul. CM Punk has that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care what anyone says. Oh, CM Punk, he's a cancer. He's not a draw. He very much still is a draw, even in his late 40s. He's bigger and better now than he was back then, in fact.
Yeah.
And apparently CM Punk's supposed to go to SmackDown as well. I did read something a little bit this morning. Apparently Dave Meltzer says that there's, like, to say that there's not issues with Punk and WWE is not correct. This is according to the Observer. I know it's one or two minor stories, but we'll get into the preview predictions here, and we might as well begin. But before we begin, hit the like on the video. It helps a lot in the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to FioriousNation. We are at, what is this subscriber count? 269. By the 4th of July, I'd love to hit 275 subscribers. So make sure you go subscribe to FioriousNation. That's my goal. Go subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications while you're at it too. It all helps in the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you go do that. It would be greatly appreciated. And I appreciate every single support from you guys. So make sure you go do that. And I appreciate every single one of you that with what you do. Always appreciate the support. So I got to say thank you to all you guys. And make sure you follow me on X, FiorioNick579, Adam Carl on X at Adam Carl 2005, all the other good stuff, social media links, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. But Dave Meltzer, he apparently, if I can pull this up, it says this, that apparently would see where the heck is it? If I can find it. Now, this is from the Observer, taken with a grain of salt. He apparently said there are reportedly, quote, issues between CM Punk and WWE. However, it is not, quote, not as bad as some have said, as some have made it out to be. But it's not like there aren't any issues at all. That there are not any issues at all. And there are reportedly mild issues between CM Punk and WWE, saying it reportedly wouldn't be correct to say there are no issues at all with Punk in the WWE, but it's not as bad as some have made it out to be. It's also said that CM Punk himself was also pushing, quote, very hard for his return to take place on the July 6th episode of Raw because it's in Chicago at the Allstate Arena that night, where he's from. But he is earmarked to be on the SmackDown brand going forward. And it also says his departure was basically to get him ready for moving to SmackDown and eventually a program with Cody Rhodes as well. So that's that. Your thoughts on this?
Of course, there's no issues. Of course, it's not as bad as people make it out to be.
They said there are mild issues. Like, to say there's no issues is not correct.
Yeah, so yeah, mild issues. What are those mild issues? Maybe, I don't know, maybe TKO getting involved? Because at WrestleMania and Punk, because obviously he cut that promo on the Raw, after Pat McAfee showed up on SmackDown.
Maybe was it that Raw where he talked about Pat McAfee saying to Ari to lower the ticket prices? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that.
It was a report saying that they were going to work on lowering the ticket prices this summer. I've yet to see it. Maybe it's Punk continuing to talk about TKO after that. I have no idea. Yeah, maybe it's something Punk wanted for WrestleMania, but TKO said no.
I don't know. Maybe.
I have no idea.
But it's probably not that big of an issue. Probably.
I don't know. Or maybe Punk wanted an idea. Maybe TKO was in favor of it, but not at WrestleMania. Maybe they wanted it later down the line because they were focused on needing to pay off debt. I have no idea. It's something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? But there doesn't seem that big of a. There doesn't seem to be a big issue, which is the only thing that matters. I mean,
do you think TKO would ever let CM Punk walk out or just let him go? I highly doubt it.
No. Dude, can you imagine if they
there are those that think, oh, CM Punk, oh, he's out the door. Oh, he's frustrated, unhappy. He doesn't want to be there. He wants out.
Can you imagine the bad PR TKO would get if they fire CM Punk?
Sponsors would immediately pull out worse than before. Than a couple years ago around the Royal Rumble in 2024 when Slim Jim pulled out.
Literally. So no, doesn't seem that big of an issue. It's not a big deal. Or even if there are small issues, it's probably just small.
Like minor issues.
Yeah. He's going to be back soon. He's going to be back in time for SummerSlam as well.
Hopefully. With Cody, Gunther, and Sammy at Night of Champions, and I have a feeling Cody may retain, if Cody retains, do we get Cody and Punk at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship? Because remember, Sami Zayn's the most interesting part of SmackDown, but do we get him involved in the WWE title match at SummerSlam somehow, some way? Maybe Cody, Punk, Sami in a triple threat. Maybe Cody and Punk and Sami as a referee, though we've seen on the June 19th SmackDown last week. But I mean, if it makes it more interesting on SmackDown as far as the WWE title is concerned, then so be it. And Punk on there makes things a lot better as well. You add that as well, something to think about. But if Cody retains on some of the champions in Saudi tomorrow, do you think it's likely the scenario we get Cody and Punk at SummerSlam if Jay if Jay unfortunately wins King of the Ring, which I hope is not the case, but if that happens, sadly, do we get Cody and Punk to at least make up for that to save SummerSlam? Because Cody and Punk's a big match, and they haven't done it yet. It's the biggest match you can do. And Punk is sorely missed and needed, and he is going to SmackDown, according to reports, which I think is the 1,000% correct move. They need him, and that show needs all the help they can get. And with SmackDown going back to 2 hours, I think, there's no reason to not do it. CM Punk's done everything he could on Raw, and there's nothing left from there. I think SmackDown really needs him bad. I want to leave the floor to you on this one.
They definitely need him. I mean, the show has been so terrible this year so far.
Yeah.
It's just so atrocious. Like there hasn't been one good, memorable storyline from this year. There's not been that spark on that brand that makes the show flow better. And I think CM Punk, a guy, I mean, whether you love him or hate him, I mean, he makes shows better. He makes people, excited to tune in. So
yes.
and him on SmackDown would definitely, bring some spark that the show needs.
And that heart and soul that that shot of bourbon or two.
Yeah.
He'd give them the energy and life. They would bring life back to that show. He would. Yeah. Like Punk on SmackDown's a game changer and makes the show like a complete opposite of what it is now, night and fucking day. It would change the show for the better. It really would. Wouldn't be perfect, but Punk would really but Punk there would move the needle. He's not a guy that's just selfish and just be all about himself. And he's a guy that's just not going to take it up the ass if somebody in the back and creative wants something that's dumb or stupid. Punk though he's a wrestler, I mean, he's not going to just take it up the ass. He'll just sit there and argue and say, why are we doing this? Like, we shouldn't be doing this. Let's not do it. Let's do something else instead. That's the power of CM Punk. He actually cares. He is of that old school mindset of long-term booking and storytelling. He is of long-term booking. You talk about long-term booking, look no further than Phil Brooks, CM Punk. And he's helped it with NXT as well, and as well there. And I think Punk on SmackDown, again, it would make it better, in my opinion, for sure. I mean, remember what CM Punk did 3 years ago when they started Collision? And then ever since he left the company, AEW 3 years ago, the Collision went downhill from there. Do you think maybe SmackDown with CM Punk could be CM Punk's new Collision?
Maybe. You can do that. He could certainly help out with creative. He could certainly help out with creative.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly will take CM Punk over fucking Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes.
Bruce Pritchard has said, though, he hasn't been there lately, and he's been losing a lot of weight, actually, according to reports.
Okay, good for him. Good for him. He's getting into good shape.
It says he's expected back in his WWE role soon, though, which I don't like at all. It says, according to the Observer, that longtime executive of WWE Bruce Pritchard, who has been absent from his role since WrestleMania 42, is expected to return to his duties soon. Says that he's lost a lot of weight, apparently, as well. If I can find the details, it said he's lost a lot of weight as of late since his time away.
Well, good for him for dropping some weight, getting into good shape.
Yeah, but he still sucks at his job.
Let's make his absence even longer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, who wants to see him on the chair and that headset?
Him and Michael Hayes. I mean, Triple H is head of creative there. He would get the blame, but it also doesn't really help at all much. With on top of that, with Michael Hayes and Bruce Pritchard,
doesn't help that he has to work with the rats.
Michael Hayes, who didn't he come up with the term, the glass ceiling? Like, certain people have a certain ceiling, you can't break through the glass ceiling. Michael Hayes invented that.
The same Michael Hayes, who is more known for being a tag team wrestler,
a goofball tag team wrestler with the Fabulous Freebirds.
Yeah, he never sniffed a world championship. Not in WWF, not in the NWA, not anywhere.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Or did he? What are the territories in Portland or Montreal or any of the territories? Like, did he?
Some rinky-dink fed.
Well, if he did, he didn't win any world titles in any of the major territories in the 70s or 80s. But he puts glass ceilings on others. Was there also a glass ceiling on him?
Yeah, Michael Hayes is a fucking clown, and so was Bruce Pritchard, Brother Love. Yeah, he's another Vince McMahon rat, another guy who's nothing but Vince McMahon 2.0. As long as they're there, nothing will change.
I would rather Punk on the creative than both of these guys.
Yeah, as long as those two are still there, nothing will change.
I mean, he could certainly help. I mean, and I think you were talking about the AEW. I mean, Ricky is there. Hobbs is there.
Yes.
Danhausen there. They're close to Punk.
Royce, Danhausen. Yep. Punk and Danhausen are very good friends. You got, Royce Keys, Ricky Saints. Damn, I wish Aleister Black was still there. I don't know why they let him go. That's still to this day very head scratching.
Yeah.
Because I would have loved to see Punk versus Aleister on SmackDown. That would have been awesome. I would have loved to see that. You got Cody there. You got Orton. You got Blake Monroe, Julia.
There are others that Punk. There are people that he can help with creative. Others he can work with on television.
Exactly.
At a time where SmackDown need a shot in the arm.
Could you imagine what SmackDown could look like if they got Gunther, Cody, Sammy, Punk? At least you throw Orton and McIntyre in there when they're eventually all back as well. You got Finn Balor there. And then maybe if Kevin Owens gets cleared by the end of the year, could you imagine what SmackDown would look like by the end of the year?
Honestly, this could you could be looking at the best show on weekly television.
Like a new SmackDown 6 or 8.
You could be looking at the best weekly show in wrestling right now, just with those names.
Yeah, it all comes down to the booking and creative, but it's like the potential if SmackDown were to get those 8 on TV, there is potential there, but it's all in the booking. But it could potentially be a new SmackDown 6 or SmackDown 8, like back in 2002 when Paul Heyman was running SmackDown. Back in the day, you had Benoit, you had Chavo, you had Eddie, you had Kurt Angle, you had Edge, you had Rey Mysterio as the SmackDown 6 back in 2002.
Yeah. So to make a long story short, I think expect Punk on television soon.
And it will be on SmackDown. It will not be on Raw. I mean, maybe that's what's holding them back. Maybe he wants to be on the Raw in Chicago July 6th first. Maybe for a purpose. I mean, maybe I was thinking about this earlier today before we went live, actually. Night of Champions is tomorrow. I expect Cody to retain. The SmackDown July 3rd, the day before 4th of July, and America's 250th birthday, by the way. The July 3rd SmackDown next week, which I believe will be taped. It won't be live. It'll be 2 hours July 3rd. Tonight, SmackDown's the final 3. Tonight, SmackDown June 26th in London, which was taped early this past Tuesday. The final 3-hour SmackDown tonight. Thank goodness.
Thank God.
Thank goodness. Unfortunately, they're going to be 3 hours first half of the year for SmackDown and USA Network until their USA Network deal runs out in a couple years. That can't come fast enough. But July 3rd, SmackDown's going to be 2 hours next week, a week from today. Maybe they run a little angle where Cody Rhodes is backstage in Nick Aldis' office, and Nick Aldis gets a text that, Adam Pearce gets a text from Adam Pearce. He wants Cody to come to Raw Monday, July 6th, because he wants Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis text. We got a new member coming to SmackDown, and Cody is like, let me meet this guy. And Adam Pearce says he'll have his last appearance on Raw July 6th, and Cody coming to Raw Monday, July 6th in Chicago. Punk shows up. Punk GTS is Cody, and Punk says, I'm the one that's welcome to SmackDown. And that bleeds into SmackDown on July 10th, which I believe is the first SmackDown that's live 2 hours. That'll be live. Because SmackDown tonight and next week are going to be taped, not live. July 10th SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown, is going to be live at 2 hours. You bleed it into that. to kickstart the Cody and Punk feud going into SummerSlam.
You can do that. I mean, I certainly wouldn't be against it.
It would give a reason to Punk and Cody to start a feud and Punk start on SmackDown. And start SmackDown off the right way back at 2 hours live. Like, you want to start them in the best way possible again, the 2 hours again. I don't think you can get better than that.
Yeah. And you certainly don't want his return to be, spoiled.
Right.
Certainly don't want to.
Yeah, just keep it very silent under the vest.
Yeah.
So they could very well do that. Will they do it? I'm not sure. I don't know if they have the balls to do that. But I mean, then again, it's CM Punk. But we'll see what happens. It's just a thought out there. But I think that would be a great way to get Punk onto SmackDown and leave Raw for SmackDown. I mean, if Punk wants to be on Raw in Chicago July 6th, just give him what he wants. And I mean, it's Chicago.
Yeah.
You could use it for anchor for storyline continuation, for continuity. So we'll see. But other minor news. I thought I may as well talk about Jack Perry. Apparently, you know how his contract with AEW is coming up really soon? Apparently, he has not signed a new deal with AEW as of yet. Uh-oh. Now, this is coming from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Where is it?
Today must be Friday for Dave.
Yeah, Friday. So if I can find where the hell is it? It's trying to find the report. Here we go. So Jack Perry. Pull up the article. Here we go. Let's see. Okay. So this may have been also from the so here we go. Yes. So speaking with the Observer, Brian Alvarez offered the latest on the situation with Jack Perry's AEW contract status, indicating that Mr. Perry was still believed to be without a new agreement. Quote, as of last week, he was not. It's possible he signed today, but I think he's still unsigned, Alvarez said. The update follows earlier reporting that Perry's deal was set to lapse at any moment and that he and AEW were negotiating a new contract. While the expectation has been that Perry will ultimately re-sign, Alvarez has cautioned that nothing is guaranteed. One of AEW's longest tenured talents, Perry has had a lot of success holding the TNT Championship, the National Championship, the World Tag Team Championship as part of Jurassic Express with Luchasaurus, and the now-retired FTW Championship, if that even counts as one. He also won the Casino Battle Royale at Double or Nothing 2021 as well. That was actually pretty cool, where he eliminated Christian Cage lastly. That was cool.
Yeah.
Then he was also eliminated from the Owen Cup tournament by Mark Davis in the first round. Weeks earlier, Davis had also taken the national championship from Perry on the Fairway to Hell special as well. He lost to Zack Sabre Jr. on this week's Dynamite too. And another speaking of AEW, another AEW original set to have a contract coming up real soon as well. Scorpio Sky as well. Just reading this too. Scorpio Sky could be approaching a crossroads in his AEW tenure, as his contract with the promotion is expiring near its end as well. And it's said that Sky's AEW deal is set to run out in a few months as well. That with tracking of wrestling contract, like saying the former two-time TNT champion has been reported elsewhere as having a contract that runs through this fall, with tracking of wrestlers' contracts pointing to an October 2026 expiration. So there you have it right there.
3 months.
Scorpio Sky and Jack Perry both have deals coming up with AEW soon. I think Jack Perry probably stays. I think Scorpio Sky, is likely to leave. They're not really doing anything with him. He's been there a long time. I don't know what you could do with him. They clearly have no plans for him. And if you have nothing for him and he doesn't want to be there, just simply let him go. I don't see the point of even keeping Scorpio Sky at this point if you're not doing a thing with him. I think Scorpio Sky is likely to leave. Jack Perry, I could see leave as well, like we've mentioned here on the podcast, but I think he ultimately resigns and stays. But if he doesn't, I wouldn't be shocked either. part of me wants to, like me, I would like to see Jack Perry jump ship and give WWE a shot because he's done everything in AEW. Like he doesn't really factor into big AEW world title plans or main event plans. Like Tony Khan is not like, you know, when Tony Khan chose Jack Perry in the Bucks over Punk 3 years ago, and now look where Jack Perry's at now, Tony Khan clearly has no plans for him, literally. And I don't see the point in Jack Perry staying. Like he's been losing a lot, and Tony literally has zero plans for this guy. He's not he's not doing anything of memorable. No, like he just feels like another guy in the roster now. Like when AEW started, he felt like a standout guy. Now he feels like everyone else. And I hate saying that because he's actually pretty talented, is Jack Perry. And I want to see him succeed. And I think if he wants to succeed and grow, I think the WWE is a better, like starting NXT, I think that's the way to go about it. I could see him stay, but I think he stays, but I could also see him leave as well. The inside part of me wants to see him jump ship, but he probably will re-sign. Though I would like to see him jump ship and give WWE a shot, at least, you know. But I think he starts in NXT. And yes, a Jack Perry CM Punk WWE feud would be money. And Triple H has the opportunity there. If Jack Perry makes the jump to WWE, Triple H has the opportunity to do something that Tony Khan didn't do. And then that's make CM Punk and Jack Perry get along and do business with each other. Your entire take on this?
I mean, I think honestly, if you ask me, you know, I think it's kind of 50-50 with Jack. Because, I mean, I think he stays. I mean, he's also close with the Bucks. He's close with Tony. He's been on television a lot recently, but then as well, you know, when was the last time he's done something interesting?
I couldn't tell you.
Like he's losing to Zack Sabre Jr.'s faction.
Yeah,
he's losing. He lost to Mark Davis.
Yeah.
And what was the last feud that he had? Oh yeah, he had a feud with the
not so demand Ricochet.
The not so demand. Yeah, that's the last time he had a feud. Yeah, that's what they think of Jack Perry.
Yeah, when you're losing to Ricochet and the not so demand,
that gets people, you know, to be interested in him. Like he's done nothing.
Yeah. He did. He was a heel. He was a heel 3 years ago, but then obviously the real glass incident all in 2023, which Tony Khan should have handled it. But
it was Tony. He's not the one. He's the one who didn't speak there first.
Tony Khan, yeah, he allowed Jack Perry to use the real glass when several others
enabled this behavior.
Yeah, Tony Khan, because he's not a boss.
I mean, I think before that, the Jack Perry and Punk got along nicely. Before this, I mean, they got along nicely, and I never heard any problems with them.
And it all falls on. It ultimately falls on Tony.
I don't know if it was a misunderstanding, or somebody got in his ear, or Jack just misunderstood and took it the wrong way.
Or maybe it was some of Jack Perry's friends getting to Jack. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, I won't say names, but
I mean, I don't know for a fact unless Jack, you know, speaks about it. But yeah. I think they would get along well in WWE. They got along in AEW before, you know.
Well, Jack Perry came to WWE. Do I think Punk would leave the WWE because Jack Perry came? No. Do I think Punk and Jack Perry would have problems in WWE like in AEW? No. Absolutely not.
I think they'll get along nicely. I do think, though, he would start in NXT first. I think whilst he's good and he's talented, he's not a good mic talker, if we're being real.
I would say
he has no personality.
Where NXT would help, where NXT would absolutely help him find the personality.
He tried to do the scapegoat character, his gimmick.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
NXT would give him a much better character than AEW would ever do.
He did have a good beard, though.
Yeah.
That beard looked good on him.
And I think Jack Perry and NXT would honestly also humble Jack Perry a little bit.
Probably.
I think it would humble him and make him grow up and mature and have a much better character and connect better with the audience. So, and Punk and Jack Perry, I think, would get along in WWE because there's real leadership, unlike in AEW, where just inmates run the asylum in AEW and Tony lets them do what they want when they want. and there's no consequences or discipline for their actions there. And it's all a bunch of it's all a bunch of children in AEW.
Come on now, bro. There's the disciplinary committee.
Yeah, I mean the big ego guys.
Yeah, the disciplinary committee is Tony Khan. There is no disciplinary committee.
Yeah, no creative team. The creative team is Tony Khan.
Yeah, but I think Jack stays.
But yeah,
I think Jack stays.
Yeah, I would like to see him jump ship, but I think he stays.
Yeah, I think there's more likely that Anna Jay.
If Jack Perry stays, does Tony do anything with him? Because look what he's done to Danny Garcia.
I mean, I don't even know what you do with Jack Perry. I mean, he's not going to be a world champion.
Because I don't want Jack Perry to suffer the same fate as Danny Garcia. And look what he's doing now, where Jack Perry could break away from that.
I mean, I'd like to see him do more, but I mean, is he going to be a world champion? I mean, I don't think he would ever win a world title on WWE or AEW for that matter.
Probably not.
Maybe an international champion. I think that would be his best ceiling. I think that would be his best role for it.
I think the key factor, what might lead to Jack Perry maybe jumping ship to WWE, is his girlfriend Anna Jay. If she goes, he goes with her.
Maybe.
It's a good possibility to think about, because I think Anna Jay jumps ship.
Yeah.
There's nothing for her there at all. Nothing. Scorpio Sky, I think he's the very likely out of the two to leave.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I completely forgot he was still employed.
Yeah, he had this Men of the Year tag team with Ethan Page in early 2020s AEW. That was actually really good stuff.
Yeah.
And it never went anywhere.
With Chris Daniels and Kazarian.
Yeah, and it never went anywhere.
I mean, that was a good team too until they broke them up.
Yeah, for no reason. If Scorpio Sky is out the door in the fall, I would say his best bet is NXT.
Like, what has Scorpio Sky done in the last 3 years, at least, in AEW?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you the last time he even had a match on Collision or Dynamite.
Yeah, for that matter. Scorpio Sky is, I think, more likely than not to be as good as gone from the AEW. Jack Perry is probably 50-50.
Yeah. I would say out of the likeliest, the two, I think it's Scorpio Sky that leaves.
And with Jack Perry, I think the big factor is Anna Jay. If she stays, I think he stays. But if she goes, it would be kind of weird for her to jump and him not to jump. You would think he'd want to be with his girlfriend. I think if she jumps, if Anna Jay jumps makes the jump to WWE, I think the chances of Jack Perry going to WWE increase likely.
Very possible.
Just throwing that out there. That's something to think about. I think that is the big factor involved for Jack Perry's AEW status. Anna Jay. And she is likely to jump. Why would she even stay to AEW? They're not going to do anything with her anyway. Anna Jay most likely making the jump to WWE. I think that will then drive Jack Perry to make the jump to WWE at that point. So, again, something to think about, but I'm 50-50 with Jack Perry.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get Anna Jay and Jack Perry versus The Miz and Maurice.
Oh, jeez. Please no Jack Perry and The Miz.
Maybe we're gonna have the Miz. The Miz, he's gonna dress up like he's a boy from the jungle.
Oh, jeez, like Tarzan. Oh, Jesus Christ. Or maybe much rather Jack Perry and Anna Jay feuding with CM Punk and AJ Lee.
Now that would be better.
Yeah, Anna Jay, AJ Lee, Jack Perry and the Miz, Jack Perry and CM Punk. Yeah, I much rather that than Jack Perry and the fucking Miz and Kit Wilson. But yeah, if Jack Perry makes the jump, easily see him in the mid-card role, like a North American title, United States title, Intercontinental title, easily. Or maybe a tag team. Another thing to think about if Jack Perry makes the jump to WWE, Luchasaurus, isn't he back with the Jurassic Express? And WWE could absolutely use tag teams, especially on the main roster and NXT. If Jack Perry makes the jump to NXT, Luchasaurus maybe joins him. You'd have Jurassic Express tag team in NXT. That's a tag team added there, and NXT could absolutely use tag teams.
I mean, they're a fun team. They actually they have chemistry together.
Yes.
They blend well together. The big guy, little guy type team.
Yes.
And it would certainly help.
Absolutely. So we'll see what happens, but that's something to look out for right there with Jack Perry and Scorpio Sky as far as their AEW status is concerned.
Speaking of signings, actually, didn't we report this on the last podcast?
Which one?
I think about Xena. I'm sorry if I spelled that wrong.
I think it's spelled X.
Yeah, Xena.
Yes. No, I didn't mention that.
Yeah. According to False Finish, some within WWE and AAA are expecting Xena to join the company once she finishes up with Stardom on July 8th.
Now, that would be a nice get for AAA/WWE. I think she would go with AAA first and be booked by Undertaker.
Yeah. Her boyfriend, Daga, he's in AAA.
Speaking of Daga, this brand new group in AAA, Pero Del Gal, I think it is.
Del Mars, I think.
Something like that. It's Daga's in the group, as well as one half of OTM's Bronco Nima, and then Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, and Carmen Petrovich, which I like. I like that. And they look cool together. A lot of potential. I like it. And I'm excited to see how they're booked by Undertaker, Mark Calloway. Like, it feels like a LWO, NWO faction in AAA. I like it, man.
Yeah, they look good together, and the heat they got when they attacked Kaiser Americano. Gracias.
Yes, there we go.
And they had the immense heat when they attacked Americano.
Yeah,
so far, it's been a good start. I think there's potential there with this group to be a top heel in this new version, at least, of the group, to be the top heel faction in the AAA.
It's Perros Del Mal. There you go.
Yeah, Perros Del Mal. Yeah, I think this was a faction led by Perro Aguayo back in the day, 20 years ago, 15 years ago. If you don't know who he is, he was a former wrestler. He wrestled for 20 years. Famously wrestled in AAA, obviously. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us because he died in the ring in 2015.
Yes, this Pero guy. Yeah, this was right after Rey Mysterio got released from his first WWE run back in January/February of 2015, and right after he left, he was asked for his release, and he asked for his release. He was granted it, but he left on good terms. Immediately went to, I think it was before Lucha Libre promotion, and not Lucha Underground, right?
No, not Lucha Underground, not in AAA. I think it was some
or CMLL.
Yeah, no, none of these promotions. Lucha Underground, CMLL, AAA. This wasn't the match where in any of those promotions where Pero died.
Yeah,
maybe it's a Mexican.
Maybe
it was a Mexican independent show.
Yeah, Mexican indie show. But I seen it on YouTube and on social media, Twitter, Facebook. I seen it, man. Very, very tragic and sad. Like, it wasn't even Rey Mysterio's fault. Like, how when he steps over 619 outside of a Hurricane Run or his head scissors, does like a drop kick to the front or the back of an opponent. Then they go draping over the second rope. And Rey Mysterio hits the ropes, goes for 619. This Pero guy is like when he was falling to the second rope, like a rare, I think he hit his head on the rope hard, or I don't know what happened, but he was not good.
Yeah, he was. He fell unconscious, and Rey Mysterio, he goes for the 619 and he missed, and Pero didn't move whatsoever.
He was not responsive at all. Then they rushed him, tried to save him, rushed to a hospital, but by the time they got there, he was already gone and he died. He passed. Very tragic.
A tragic situation. That's such a tragic situation. It was nobody's at fault. It was that
Rey Mysterio did nothing wrong. He didn't kill him, and then I think he got he got shit from people, the idiots online. It's like just awful. It's like people going at him, sending him death threats, just coming at Rey. Just felt bad for him because he did nothing wrong. Like, of course, you got idiots talking shit to him, coming at him.
It was an accident. Rey Mysterio's done the drop kick to 619 thing. He's done the drop kick or head scissors to 619 set up for like 30 years now. Exactly. Just one of those. It just and guess what? Nobody got hurt. It's just one of those instances where things did go wrong. It's one of those instances where the simplest spot, unfortunately, turned out to be brutal.
Yeah, sometimes the simplest of moves can, if not done properly, can lead to really, really bad things. That's why being a wrestler is not easy. These guys are trained, but you got to be so careful and protect yourself and your opponent. And it's very hard being a professional wrestler and how much these guys train every single day, nonstop, no days off. And it's a rare incident, but that you can die in the ring, but it can happen. You can't sit there and say, oh, it can't ever happen. It absolutely can happen. Rare, but there's always that rare chance it does happen. So, it's going to happen. That's like saying like, oh, I'm not going to get bit by an alligator, but you are going to get bit one if you wrestle him. It's going to happen. A tragedy in the ring is going to happen. Like injuries, nobody's immune to injuries. It's the nature of the beast. It's a physical sport. Nobody's immune to any kind of injury in any sport, not just wrestling. Like nobody's immune to that shit. And getting injured, it's going to happen at the end of the day. It's going to happen. So you can't sit there and act surprised. Oh, I got to, that'll never be me. It can and will be you. It can.
You could be the safest wrestler in the world. You could be, the most trusted guy in the ring. That doesn't mean that you're gonna be immune from injuries or something bad happening. Like, shit happens, unintentionally, unless you're so bad in the ring that you intentionally hurt your opponent. But things happen, just unintentionally. Shit happens. When you least expected it. It's the nature of the business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with this new revamped faction, I think it's shipping them nicely, and having Xena there in AAA will definitely be a nice boost.
Do you think maybe she comes in as a face or a heel?
Maybe a baby face.
Probably. Maybe have
I've seen her work. She's good. I've seen her work. She's excellent. I see why people sing her praises. I think I would bring her in as a face. Maybe she could.
Isn't WWE also interested in Persephone as well?
Yeah. I think her dual contract with Steam Hello and AEW is up at the end of the year.
Yeah, that WWE really wants to bring her in, and I could see why. I've watched her work in AEW with the Owen Women's Cup tournament. She's really good. I could see why. She's that damn good.
How would you bring Xena in? I think she could. You could have her feud with Carmen.
Yes,
you could have her feud with Carmen. I think that could be a good feud.
And then they got Bayley and Lola Vice from Raw and NXT doing the AAA stuff as well. They got Flammer as well. They got some nice talent down in AAA. And you add Xena to the mix. I like this move. And hopefully they get Persephone as well. That would make it even better. You got Persephone and Xena, and you're at least your top two females in that AAA promotion. Your women's division there. So I hope they get her, and I like this move if they get it. So we'll see what happens. If they sign her, or what their status is of the contract, we'll definitely keep you guys posted and keep an eye on that. So So I guess those are the minor stories here. Not much other news in the realm outside of maybe also WWE also interested. I think there's a former world champion or former WWE star showing up at Slammiversary Sunday. I think if it's Road, not wouldn't be Roda because he's rumored to come in anyway, running creative. But I think I did hear that WWE. I think he's gonna be a free agent or is a free agent after getting released in April. TNA apparently interested in bringing in Apollo Crews.
That's
I like that.
nice.
I think that's
Nice.
a very good.
He definitely
I think
fits TNA.
that's a very good get very good coup.
He definitely fits in TNA. He's a talented guy.
Very talented guy.
Yeah.
So very underutilized in the WWE main roster. He was called up from NXT a decade ago way too quick, and he never matured or grew. He never got a chance to have any character. Where in TNA, I think he could really reinvent and find himself finally.
Just look at Mustafa Ali.
Yes, Mustafa Ali and Apollo Crews, sign me up. You could put Apollo Crews in the X division. And you could even do a world championship too, I'm sure, I think, He has the potential.
Yeah. Especially, at a time where, TNA have been losing talent left and right.
They could use him. And money problems. Don't even get me started on that shit. And the creative has to change too.
Yeah, they can certainly use the help.
Yeah. They got Fabian Eichner there. Just don't have Apollo beat Fabian in TNA in 3 seconds. I don't think it'll happen though, but
yeah.
But I mean, when Apollo Crews reinvents himself in TNA, like Fabian Eichner will, like there's no way WWE doesn't foam in the mouth. Look at this guy. He's really transformed himself, and we were wrong to what we did, and we didn't want him. Now we do, and we want him back. Who's to say?
Certainly, it's very possible. It's professional wrestling. Anything can happen.
Yeah, they really fumbled Fabian and Apollo big time. And Apollo Crews goes to TNA. That's a very good get. I don't know if I heard a rumor Aleister Black may go back to AEW with Zelina. I don't understand why. How Tony Khan treated him poorly the last time. Why would he go back? I've been saying this for weeks. I think Aleister Black really should consider with Zelina Vega going to TNA. I think that is his really honest best bet. And he could really be a top guy there and make that brand his own and that company his own.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I think in terms of.
Oh, sorry. Hold the thought. Comment in the chat. Ricky for the People's Wrestling Channel. Hi guys. A rare sighting of Adam Carl. I see. Yes. And then that was from the last one. Then we got Coach Ed Sports. Peace and blessings. Everyone hit that like button and help the show grow. Sub up and get notified, and be sure to join the conversation by commenting. #RiseUp. Indeed. Spread the message. But yeah, you were saying, Adam Carl.
Yeah, as far as I'm saying, as I was saying, I think with the April releases, I think TNA picks up most of the guys and girls that were released back in April.
Yeah. And they lost a lot of talent with Ace Austin, the Rascals. They lost a lot of talent as well. They're going to need to make up for that.
Yeah, I think they pick up Black, Zelina. They pick up Cruz and most of the Wyatt Six.
Yeah, Wyatt Six absolutely would fit TNA very well.
Yeah.
Nikki Storm, I think, is in the UK Indies with Kaylee Ray, who's back in the UK Indies, which I think she's doing very well, killing it already. Not long there, back there, she's killing it. Very happy for her. She'll still very young, and she'll kill it and reinvent herself. She will. Kaylee Ray.
Yeah. So Apollo Crews to TNA. I mean, hey, that's a good get.
But Wyatt Six in TNA. Imagine, like, if Wyatt Six go to TNA, right? A new Nikki Cross, I think, would be perfect. Rosemary. Like when she was with DK a decade ago with Abyss and Crazy Steve.
Yeah. You could have
if you want to bring that to the next level, that would be perfect.
It does fit with their dark character.
Yes. You got Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, Dexter Loomis / Samuel Shaw. You got Bo Dallas / Uncle Howdy with Rosemary.
That would be cool.
Yeah. But you were saying about Apollo Crews that he lands there?
Him going to TNA, I think it's a good get for TNA. I think he debuts in Slammiversary.
Yeah. If Apollo Crews goes to AEW, he's going to get lost in the shuffle within never mind 3 or 4 weeks, 2 weeks less. It won't take any time.
He'll be on Ring of Honor.
Yeah, Collision, then right to Ring of Honor within a quick amount of time. Guarantee it. He'd be a new Tony Khan flavor of the week. And then right back to the toy chest.
Or he will be a member of the Don Callis family.
Oh, jeez.
He'll be the 79th member of the Don Callis family.
Yeah, or instead of putting the Hurt Syndicate, they'll probably put him with the Not So Demand.
Oh my God, Ricochet and Apollo Crews, safe action. Yeah. Apollo Crews having to take Mike, having to stand there with Ricochet as Ricochet's trying to cut promos.
And Apollo Crews is not a good promo guy either. Well, though he was doing good promos when he turned heel in 2021 with this Nigerian gimmick, he was doing well with that. I think if you give him the right, proper opportunity, he can succeed. I think that's key.
Yeah.
Got to get behind him properly and he'll grow and he'll shine. But it's all in the booking. I would trust TNA more than AEW to book Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews will just feel like everyone else in AEW if he goes there. I don't want to see him in AEW. I want to see him in TNA. So then we got other comments from Ricky in the chat. Wyatts were dead as soon as they got treated as everyone else. Well, it didn't help when you had them feud with the MFTs, which felt like centuries. So I agree with that there.
Yeah.
Then he says, will you be watching Forbidden Door or Great American Bash? Great American Bash. Forbidden Door is irrelevant. It's a nothing show. It really is a nothing show, bro.
It's irrelevant. Yeah. You got AEW sickos basically begging for the show to be canceled.
Yeah, what does that tell you?
Yeah. You see the crowds that like on the last 2 weeks of Dynamite.
Yeah. No, like lifeless, like nothing, no energy, nothing.
Like literally, no reaction. Kenny Omega was coming out the Dynamite, and he was coming out to crickets.
One of the bout machine, one of the best wrestlers on the planet, and to have him come out to no reaction, if that's not alarming, I don't know what is.
That's how bad Forbidden Door is. That's how bad this buildup is.
Yeah. But yeah, back to the Apollo Crews in TNA more likely than not. We'll keep you guys updated on Apollo Crews where he lands, so let you guys know on that as soon as we know the details. But getting into the main things of today, what a weekend we got. We got Night of Champions Saturday. We got Great American Bash, Forbidden Door, and Slammiversary on Sunday. Obviously watching Night of Champions tomorrow. I'm not watching Forbidden Door, but I will watch the Great American Bash on the CW. I think it's CW Network or the CW app. And then I may even tune into Slammiversary. That's looking like a decent show as well. Like Night of Champions, obviously, in a Saturday standalone show tomorrow in Saudi. For Sunday, for TNA, AEW, and NXT, I think it's, in my opinion, TNA. That's going to be an interesting one. I think NXT looks like it's first because it's the first NXT PLE on the CW app. Then it's TNA. Then the last place is AEW Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door feels like the very least excited, most irrelevant show of all for the whole wrestling weekend, as far as that's concerned. Like, Forbidden Door is a waste of everyone's time. I'm not even watching Forbidden Door. And a lot of people I'm sure would say, Nick, I don't blame you. Because it doesn't feel like Forbidden Door. Only 2 matches out of like 9-10 feel like Forbidden Door. The rest feel like AEW matches where you could, or it's like it would be better off on Dynamite than on a pay-per-view. Like why is it on the pay-per-view? It just feels like a waste of everybody's time. And Forbidden Door feels like Hell in a Cell. When Vince McMahon was in charge, he had Hell in a Cell every October because it was the month of Hell, month of October. Every October, Hell in a Cell. TLC every December. Forbidden Door now feels like that. And I think after this year, Forbidden Door needs to go away for at least 3 or 4 years and bring it back when it calls for it, not because it's the month of June. And now, and the concept is dead. Forbidden Door is dead. Get rid of it. Oh, and Ricky says Slammiversary is first and Great American Bash. I mean, it's a ton. It could go either way. I was gonna say Slammiversary first, but it's like I don't know. It was tough, but I wanted to put Slammiversary first before NXT. But or actually, no, yeah, I can put Slammiversary first and NXT second, and AEW at last, obviously. Then Ricky, that was Ricky from People's Wrestling Channel. Then Ricky says only 25,000 tickets sold for All In thus far. I can see this being the last time they book Wembley. Oh. That is not good. For their biggest show of the year, that is not good. What does that tell you about the AEW product and with this Forbidden Door build? What does that tell you, bro?
That is embarrassing.
What did they have last year for all? Wait, they were an All in Texas last year. How much though it was in Texas? I think it was really big good last year, but the last time they were in Wembley was 2024. What was the attendance for that?
It was 53,000.
They're not even like they're half that. That's embarrassing.
And for 2023, they had 80,000.
And now is like way lower than that. 25,000.
Yuck. Yikes.
If that doesn't scream, we got a problem with AEW needs to be fixed. If that doesn't wake you right up and say, you know, AEW's in trouble, we need to fix this now, or else it's going to get worse. If that doesn't make you think that, then I have no words for you, bro. I really don't. That is pathetic. To have 25,000 tickets out the door so far now for All In this August in Wembley, that is absolutely pathetic and embarrassing. And Tony Khan and those in the back should be ashamed of themselves.
That's fucking embarrassing.
Then Tyler says, dude, 3 months until All In. Or, yeah, something like the 2 months. I mean, it's there in late August, I would say, maybe a month over. It's 2 months, but it's still a couple months, still either way. But it's like, that's embarrassing, big time. Then Ricky says, I meant in order of being on TV. It's Slammiversary first. Yeah, but don't worry, Ricky. I know what you mean, bro.
No worries. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
You didn't mess up anything.
Nope, didn't mess up anything at all. Then Pedro Fitz says, calls podcast the Forbidden Podcast, doesn't watch Forbidden Door. We're more forbidden. We're more forbidden than the Forbidden Door. At least our Forbidden Podcast has a lot more meaning and title, prestige Forbidden title than Forbidden Door. Facts.
Exactly.
But 25,000 tickets, man, that is bad.
I just don't understand this. This is the thing that irks me. Why would you go back to the same stadium for the third time in 4 years? That's what irks me.
Yeah.
I think a big issue with AEW, one of their issues is that they go to the same place over and over again.
They do.
Yeah. It's like, how many shows they ran in Chicago, for example.
Yeah, every year for All Out in Chicago. Then it got boring. Then people didn't want to have that anymore.
Yeah.
Ricky says the first All in Wembley drew just over 72,000, second just over 48.
Is that, paid attendance or the turnstile attendance? Because I think there's a difference between them.
Yeah, maybe turnstile. I mean, because to buy tickets, obviously, but I think the turnout.
I guess that there was also, people, who scanned tickets or they got free tickets as well.
Yeah, probably.
Or maybe some of them got free tickets.
Yeah, but it's just like
it's like
to go to same
72,000 or 80,000 to 58,000, 53,000, 48,000. It's like,
but still, the 25,000 way below those numbers. That's embarrassing.
Literally. And you're going to the same stadium for the third time after the first All-In.
And the
after
show is
second
in
All-In.
2 months. In 2 months, bro, the show is until.
Then wait, did they? Hang on. Didn't they announce Wembley 2026 after 2024? Because I think if you watch back Bryan and Swerve, and then I know after Bryan won the championship and he was celebrating with the then Blackpool Combat Club, now the Death Riders, he was celebrating with Claudio and Pac and Bree and children, Birdie and Buddy, and he was celebrating with Wheeler Useless. I think during the celebration itself, there was a graphic that showed, All In Wembley 2026.
Yeah.
I think they showed that graphic. That was 2 years ago. And this was before All In Texas.
And that show for All in Texas, that show drew, let me pull this up. Pull it up. I think if I can get the attendance for All in Texas was 21,973 for Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, I believe.
No, 21. Yeah, 21,973.
Yeah, so that is 22,000.
Yeah, pretty much close to 22,000 tickets.
In a baseball stadium, right? It was a baseball stadium,
stadium, yeah.
Like you go from a baseball stadium that hosts, a much smaller seats than the big stadium, because Wembley, it's not a small stadium whatsoever. I think it holds like 90,000.
Then Ricky says Wembley can hold 1,000, so 25,000 is pitiful. No lies there.
Literally. Yeah.
You're like, you have a quarter of your stadium filled.
And you announced that show 2 years in advance.
And people don't want to buy tickets to this.
It's like how bad has things gotten when your biggest show of the year hasn't even hit 30,000 yet. In the same stadium where you ran your first All In, the AEW version. I think there was All In 2018, but that was before AEW. But if we're only counting AEW's All In, you had 2023, 2024, 2025. 2023 and 24 were in Wembley Stadium. And you're running a third time. I think as well, apart from the fact, there's nothing exciting on the current product, I think the other big issue is that you're running again the same stadium. Why are we going for the same stadium over and over again? Is there not any other baseball? Is you couldn't go for another baseball stadium in the United States?
Or better yet, can we take a break from Wembley Stadium for a while?
You can't go to. I think there's a stadium in Mexico, right?
Yes. Yeah, there's a stadium in Mexico. You could absolutely
there's a stadium. You can't go. Yeah. You can't go overseas to another country. You can't go to Mexico. You can't go to Japan.
Can't go to Australia. Australia is another one. You
can't go to a stadium there in any of these countries.
Like Perth, Australia, Melbourne, Australia, something like that.
Yeah, good sized stadiums where you can get a big crowd. You can't go to any of these countries. No, let's just go back to London. Let's just go back to Wembley a third time.
Or if you want to do the United States, SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, California is one.
Anything, something. At least try something new.
Or a baseball field for the Los Angeles Dodgers, maybe for the Yankees, the Mets.
Yeah,
you could absolutely do Arthur Ashe, Joe Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens, New York, near the Bronx, near New York City. You could absolutely do that too. Or if you wanted to. Now, I doubt this would ever happen because WWE may have put a block on the Madison Square Garden. MSG.
Something. Try something new.
AEW's never been at Madison Square Garden before. If AEW were to ever be allowed in MSG like that show would sell out. I guarantee it.
Like it would be the first time they go there. I'm sure people would want to be a part of history. Like, at
Yeah,
least
and Ricky,
try something new, try something creative.
yeah, instead of just sticking to the same old formulaic formula that's just boring, stale.
Like I know
Like
Tony
it feels
owns
so
the
safe.
Fulham.
There's no excitement, nothing.
Like I know Tony owns Fulham. I mean, he has history with the city of London, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's like, why are you going to the same stadium when you know, if for example, if you went to the first All In, and maybe the second one in the same stadium, let's say, why would you be interested to go to All In the same stadium again? The first one felt special because it was just the first time AEW ran a stadium, and they drew a huge crowd for it, record-breaking crowd.
Yes.
But then when you go to the second stadium, you go to the same stadium again, second year in a row, or you go to the third stadium 2 years in a, 2 years later. You're not gonna get that same crowd again. You're not gonna get 80,000, 75,000 in the same stadium again because you can't replicate it.
No, you can't.
And ever since the first All In Wembley, it's been the law of diminishing returns with Wembley Stadium with AEW.
Yeah. And Ricky also brings up this as well, bro. And tickets are much cheaper than WWE. I paid E105 for floor seats fairly close to the ring. Yeah, no lies there either, bro. No lies there either.
So when you combine, that the fact, you're going to the same stadium again, and the current television, which isn't very exciting, you see why they're struggling to sell tickets. You see why they're struggling to get a good crowd for their biggest show of the year. And we're 2 months away.
Yeah. 2 months away from...
That's embarrassing.
This is like AEW's WrestleMania. We're 2 months away from it. That's the sad part.
Like for 2023, for example, they had, in June, I believe, I don't know, June, July, for example, they had how many tickets sold before, 2 months, a month away from all in 23? What? 75,000?
Yeah, that's a lot higher than what they're doing now.
Yeah. Oh, and then 2024, what? 50,000?
Oh, in 2023, CM Punk was there too.
Yeah. I think he wrestled Joe, and then obviously MJF, he main evented with Adam Cole.
Yes.
Which was, their top storyline heading into All In. And then that's the other big part. What's the big storyline heading into Wembley Stadium this year?
Nothing. Nothing.
Like 2023 was...
Yeah,
like 2023 was MJF and Adam Cole, right?
Yes.
The whole bromance thing, and Roddy Strong was there. You had CM Punk facing Samoa Joe. These were, your two big matches. And obviously Will Ospreay was there, facing Jericho.
Yeah.
Like 2024, it was Daniel Bryan, finally winning the World Championship against Swerve Strickland. And you had MJF against Will Ospreay.
Yes.
Like, what's the big match this year for Wembley Stadium that that could get the people to pay tickets to go to London?
Is absolutely nothing.
Like what?
Zero.
Yeah. Like, you have your world champion teaming with the fucking Don Callis family against the conglomeration. Kenny Omega is facing Zack Sabre Jr.'s faction.
Yeah, like, who gives a shit? Who
Yeah.
cares? It's just a match. There's no story. You can have a good match, but if there's not a reason why they're fighting and there's no story, how are we supposed to care and invest? We can't. We want to, but we just can't invest our time into it. If you have a match and no story, it's a waste of everybody's time. Because why are they fighting? What are they fighting over?
Nothing.
And this Forbidden Door feels like a waste of everybody's time too. After this year, they need to just get rid of Forbidden Door concept pay-per-view altogether completely. It's a dead pay-per-view concept. It's dead. Only 2 or 3 matches on this show feel like Forbidden Door. That's it. And we might as well actually start. Well, I was going to start with the Night of Champions preview predictions, but we'll start with that first. save our energy for a little while for Forbidden Door for AEW. We got Night of Champions coming tomorrow in Saudi Arabia. We got 6 matches on the PLE. I'm actually surprised there's 6. I thought we'd get 5, because usually Triple H likes to do his shorter PLEs with 5 matches. He doesn't like to do 6 or 7 matches. But I'm surprised we got 6. You know what? I like this format that we got 6 matches. But Night of Champions, we got 6 matches on this show. Night of Champions, yeah. Another gimmick pay-per-view I'm not really a big fan of. They need to get rid of. We have a steel cage match at Night of Champions, not for a title. It's Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins. This match, this is the 3rd match between Breaker and Seth. Breaker beat Seth at Backlash, right?
Yeah.
Seth beat Braun on Raw before the King of the Ring tournament started. I don't know what Seth and Braun do for SummerSlam. I think I'm going Seth to win here.
I'm going to go with Seth Rollins as well. I'm going with Seth Rollins as well. It feels like, they are holding off on doing Roman.
It feels like Breaker has cooled off for now.
It feels like also, they're holding off on Roman versus Seth. They've been saving that match for SummerSlam this year.
Hopefully, if Jey Uso doesn't win the fucking King of the Ring.
Hopefully. It was obviously going to be it was going to be not SummerSlam. It was going to be the WrestleMania match, and then Seth Rollins did that stupid coast to coast headbutt spot.
Yeah.
So they've been saving that match for SummerSlam. They did that backstage segment between them when Rollins returned after WrestleMania, he returned at the Chamber. Roman won the championship at WrestleMania in April. They had that backstage segment. So they've been saving that match for a while. Big question mark, though, obviously, is, what does Braun Breaker do at SummerSlam? I'm not sure what he does at SummerSlam.
I don't know. Does he even make the SummerSlam card?
I mean, I hope. But I mean, it doesn't help that he's with. It doesn't help that he's with a dead faction.
And still feuding with Seth.
Yeah. It doesn't help that the Vision is dead, deader than a corpse.
Yeah.
It's not benefiting Braun Breaker whatsoever.
I don't know what you do, man. I just.
But I think Seth wins. I mean, I hope they can figure something out with Braun Breaker. But I think
they could. They may even leave him off SummerSlam altogether. I don't know what else you could do with him on Raw. I don't. I mean, what do you do? Face Bronson and Reed? That's just. What do you do with him? Like, do we get Seth and Braun in like a 5th rubber match or 4th rubber match at SummerSlam?
No.
Last man standing, and the feud there? Because I don't.
No.
Because I don't know if this feud is even going to end at Night of Champions. I doubt it.
End at a Night of Champions, please. Like who wants to see Seth Rollins keep fighting the fucking Vision? Bronson Reed is out. Logan Paul is out.
Or Logan Paul's back now, but
he's a manager. I mean, he has that tape or that giant elbow pad.
Yeah, he's not cleared yet.
Yeah, that giant cast on his left elbow and arm.
Yeah.
He's not going to wrestle for the rest of the year.
No.
Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory is not a SummerSlam match.
No, not even close to a SummerSlam match.
Honestly, the best route, for Rollins, just do Rollins Reigns. I don't know when Bronson Reed comes back, but honestly, if we're up to me, I'm kicking Braun Breaker out of the faction.
Yeah, though I don't know who wins King of the Ring. Though I don't know if one of them goes to SmackDown, wrestles Cody, goes to Raw, face Roman. I don't know, but maybe they're saving Roman and Seth for a later date. Got to be a later date. I don't know if it's even going to be at SummerSlam this year. I'll be very honest with you. I have no idea, but I think I got Seth Rollins winning this match. Like he just wins by the skin of his teeth, I think.
Yeah.
We get Seth Rollins winning. I think they continue the feud, and I think we get Seth winning this steel cage match. I think he probably escapes the cage. But that's my prediction on that. I think we both got Seth Rollins on the board here. Women's U.S. title match. This is the first time ever the women's U.S. title's been defended on a PLE. It's a year and a half of over a year, at least a year and a half. This title's been introduced to the company. This is the first time women's U.S. title being defended on a WWE PLE. Why wasn't this done earlier?
Beats me.
Shows you how much they value it. They favor the women's IC title more than that title. It's sad.
Yeah.
And what's more sad is we're getting Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill again. Oh, but it's for the women's U.S. title. Stop your complaining. They fought late last year for the women's championship. I didn't care about it with that. What makes you think I'm going to care about it now with the women's U.S. title with Jade and Tiffany?
Mm-hmm. How fucking embarrassing.
Tiffany Stratton, man, I think she's miscast. She should be a heel. I think she's trying really hard to be a babyface, but Tiffany Stratton sucks at being a babyface. She's much better as a heel. Is Tiffany Stratton. Jade Cargill, don't even get me started. Not a good wrestler. She sucks. And then you got the not so baddies. Michin, who's a talented wrestler, but she's boring. And then you got B-Fab, who can't wrestle to save her life. She is terrible. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. B-Fab sucks. Sucks. I don't care for this match.
Just from
I appreciate Triple H putting 6 matches on the PLE, but this feels like 5 because this Tiffany Jade feels like fucking filler. You can't add another match.
Mini spoiler.
7.
Mini spoiler. B-Fab pinned Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown.
Tonight SmackDown spoilers.
Yeah, a mini spoiler.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Hate spoiling.
Why?
But you may as well. Your Women's United States Champion is being pinned on a day before her title defense by B-Fab.
Who booked that shit? Whose decision from creative in the back? Who in the back on the creative team on SmackDown thought that was a good idea? Who?
I can't believe this. I can't fucking believe this. This shows you the level of care they have for the women's U.S. title. B-Fab pinning your champion.
Shows you the state of the current SmackDown creative team.
Yeah. Tiffany Stratton went from being women's champion last year to losing to B-Fab.
Oh, but B-Fab's gotten better a couple years ago. That was then. This is now. Is she any good now? No.
She has regressed.
Yeah. Rick even says in the chat, I never knew Jade was bald.
Yeah, her wig fell.
During your Queen of the Ring first round match that she lost to Charlotte.
I guess this will be the last time we see her with wig. She'll use her
and then she attacked Charlotte before Charlotte's Queen of the Ring semis with Liv Morgan. And looks like we're getting Jade and Charlotte at SummerSlam. Hopefully Charlotte can carry it through a good match at SummerSlam, man, because Jade Cargill can't wrestle for shit. But Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton, I don't give a fuck about this match. I don't. This is honestly, bro, and I hate to say this about Tiffany Stratton, but this Tiffany and Jade match, to me, is my bathroom break match. I don't care for this match at all.
The big problem, this is
I'm
one of the
going
biggest
Tiffany
problems.
Stratton to retain here, though.
And this is one of the biggest problems with SmackDown. It's the same thing we see. We saw this last year.
Yes.
How many times they fought? 4 or 5?
4 or 5 times too many.
Literally, none of the matches were good. And you're doing it again?
Yeah, like, what's the point?
The show feels lifeless.
What's the fucking point of doing this again? Nobody liked it or cared for it, and nobody asked for this. Nobody liked and cared for it last year, and nobody asked for this either. Nobody. Like, where's Jordan Grace? Why is she not wrestling Tiffany Stratton for the women's U.S. title? That would be much better.
Where's Candice
Why is
LeRae?
Candice LeRae not in this situation wrestling Tiffany Stratton for the women's U.S. title? And she acted as a babyface like the recent episode of Main Event against JC Jane. JC Jane's another one that could fight for the women's U.S. title or a women's title on SmackDown. Fallon Henley. Fallon Henley's another one. Lainey Reed.
Like yeah, exactly.
Anybody is better than Jade Cargill, Meechin, and B-Fab. I would even take Chelsea Green. I'm going Tiffany Stratton to retain here.
I'm actually going over. You might disagree on this, but I'm going with Jade Cargill.
Oh, God help us all if that happens.
I think they actually give. I think they give Jade the U.S. title.
Lord help us all if that happens.
I mean, she just came off back-to-back losses to Rhea.
Yeah, but
are they really gonna have her lose again?
Yeah, but Jade Cargill sucks though, bro. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I think logically. Yeah, I think
they've clearly put more stock into Fatal Influence than the not so baddies.
Yeah.
But I'm going Tiffany Stratton to retain. And for the love of God, can we please turn Tiffany Stratton heel?
For real. Yeah.
So got Tiffany Stratton on the board. Trick Williams and Ricky Saints for the United States Championship. This should be good. But I'm going Trick Williams to retain. I don't think Trick Williams loses that U.S. title until SummerSlam at least. I think we get Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes at SummerSlam for the United States Championship.
Yeah.
And I'm liking Ricky Saints in the mix too. Liking what he's doing with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams on SmackDown as of late. Ricky and Carmelo in a number one contender match on SmackDown last week on June 19th. I watched that match. Really good stuff those two did. So we got
it's
Ricky
one of the
Trick.
few interesting things about SmackDown.
One of the few
that's
bright
because
spots.
and that's because how good Ricky and Mello and Trick Williams are.
Yes.
That they've been able to make it to make the show somewhat bearable.
Yeah.
I think Trick Williams retains here. There's
Yeah,
no
I
reason
love
to
Ricky's-
take off him just yet.
No. He doesn't lose that title until at least SummerSlam.
Yeah. That's where you do Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes.
Yes. Ricky's going to have a good showing, and I like Ricky Saints, but I don't think he wins the title. It's too soon to take it off Trick Williams. Way too soon.
Yeah.
I would say Trick loses it till at least SummerSlam. I would say have Trick Williams hold the U.S. title till the end of the year, lose it to somebody else. I mean, you got Ilya Dragunov. I mean, where is he? I don't know if he has visa issues, but let's get him back. Johnny Gargano, instead of having him lay on the crate for months on end with no payoff, like what's the end goal? Let's get Johnny Gargano back in the ring on SmackDown as a babyface, relive his black and gold roots, and get him in the U.S. title mix. Have him wrestling for the U.S. title. Maybe have him, he could be something. Let's get him back in the mix, Johnny Gargano. Something to think about. But yeah, I'm going Trick Williams to retain. There's zero reason whatsoever to take that title off him. Zero. Him losing to Ricky Saints wouldn't really make any sense.
You should not drop that title until he gets to Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, the feud itself on the main roster, at least, it started, when Melo lost the U.S. title right before WrestleMania. I think you conclude that with Melo winning back the U.S. title from Trick Williams.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, maybe Carmelo's the one to beat Trick Williams for it, win it back.
Yeah.
I don't know, or maybe Trick and Melo had really good story and history in NXT when Melo turned on Trick in early 2024. He had Ilya Dragunov involved. I think that's when Dragunov was NXT champion at the time. And Mello turned heel, turned on Trick, attacked his leg from behind. And Mello was the heel, Trick was the baby face. When Trick was the hype man for Carmelo Hayes and Trick started to get over on his own, then Mello got jealous and he turned on him. They could probably relive that story here where Trick is like outshining him. He's not Mello's now hype man as per se like early NXT days with those two. But Trick Williams is his own man. He's the talk of the town on SmackDown, and Mello starts catching up and starts to steal now some of Trick's thunder and stuff like that. And maybe Mello gets jealous. Maybe he's thinking jealous of Trick and maybe goes heel. Maybe it's the other way around. You know, let them tell their story how they want to. And it could really be some really good stuff on Friday nights. You know, they have a big history in NXT. I'd love to see that on the main roster on SmackDown. That's what SmackDown could use. So they do that, man. I don't mind this at all. And no, I don't think it should be a triple threat for the U.S. title at SummerSlam involving Ricky Saints. Just let Trick and Mello do their thing on their own. I don't think we need Ricky Saints involved for the U.S. title at SummerSlam in a triple threat. We don't need that, I don't think.
No.
But moving on to the next portion of Night of Champions, King and Queen of the Ring. Liv Morgan, Women's World Champion in the finals versus Io Sky, and Yeet Man, Jey Uso versus the ruler Obafemi. 4 Raw people, not one SmackDown representation in this. Neglecting SmackDown, yeah. Shows how much they value SmackDown.
It's SmackDown in a nutshell in 2026.
I hate that, dude. That irks me.
That's SmackDown in 2026, people.
You couldn't have at least one SmackDown wrestler in the King or Queen of the Ring finals. Like, it couldn't have hurt you.
Couldn't have.
Liv Morgan is your Women's World Champion, ladies and gentlemen. 0 title defenses, 0 stories to sink her teeth into. And she's the Women's World Champion, hasn't done anything with the Women's World title since winning it from Stephanie Vecchiar at WrestleMania this year. And she was in the Queen of the Ring tournament and is now in the Queen of the Ring finals. Can I ask why that is? Or is that too logical for somebody to be asked about?
You can't have an opinion, bro. You cannot be critical.
Fuck that. Fuck that. We have every single right to voice our opinion if something is not right, and we will call it out. And we'll hold nothing back. And don't think we won't call it out, because we will. This made no sense from the beginning to have Liv Morgan in the damn tournament. And she's in the tournament, wins the first round, wins the semis against Charlotte, which I hated. I hated that. Beat Charlotte clean when Charlotte should have absolutely went to the finals. Instead of the tournament showing of a concept of who's the best. Oh, but the Judgment Day is the best.
The Judgment Day is a dead faction. Like, who's the deader faction? The Judgment Day or the Vision?
I mean, the Vision, but I mean, my goodness, bro, it's like, you couldn't have any, like, did Liv Morgan have to be in this tournament? You couldn't have anybody else.
Apparently
like
not.
Natty, Ivy Nile, somebody they would have lost, but it's a lot better than having Liv Morgan, the Women's World Champ, in the tournament. Or instead of releasing Kairi Sane, why not her in the tournament? Or Asuka in the tournament? Do we really need Liv Morgan in this tournament? Did we?
No. She's the Women's World Champion. Like, winning the King of the Ring, supposedly, or, winning the King of the Ring, grants you a World Championship match at SummerSlam, right?
Yep, it does.
So why is one of the world champions in the tournament to begin with?
But Liv Morgan says she wins it, so she goes to Rhea Ripley, becomes a double women's champion. And what if they do it to end? What if there's plans then to end the brand split?
No. No
Liv Morgan
planet.
is a double champion. Please no. I like Liv Morgan, but please no. No.
No.
And that Liv Morgan thing, I'm the greatest women's world champion, greatest Royal Rumble winner of all time. I do this when I hear that every fucking week on Raw and Netflix.
Io Sky had the best reaction.
She's like, Io Sky's like this during the Raw the Go Home show this past Monday on Raw. She's like this.
Yeah.
I could not agree more.
She had the right reaction.
Covering her ears. Like, who wants to listen to that every single week on Raw? Like, that is just that's like just I'm the women greatest of all time. Like, it's just so annoying. It's like it's literally getting to the point now with Liv Morgan of go away heat.
It's awful.
Like, she's great at what she does, but her women's world title reign has been booked so poorly, and the way they're having her come off on TV with the it's like it's getting to the point where it's annoying and people don't want to see her and want to see her lose a title. And it's like, go away.
I'd rather mute the channel when she has a microphone.
Yeah, that's how bad it is.
Like, this is, again, your world champion has had 0 title defenses.
Yeah, you put it on X as well. I seen it, and you were telling 0 lies, bro.
Yeah, 0 title defenses, 0 good storylines, 0 compelling storylines to make people interested in her title reign. She's been used as a manager since WrestleMania. Yes, your world champion, women's world champion, is used as a manager coming out of the biggest show of the year. Yet here she is in a tournament where if you win the tournament, you earn a championship match at SummerSlam, one of the nights, and she's in the finals. Yet she's had no title defenses and no good storylines. Like, how does this make sense? Like, is there no thought process?
Oh, but they're doing this tournament for the Judgment Day cracking and split eventually. There's a story in Slow Burn. There's this story with the Judgment Day split. That's what they're doing. You don't need to use the tournament for that.
They've been slow burning this Judgment Day turn for 3 years. 3 fucking years of this. We need progression. We need advancements in the storyline.
Like they're just waiting on this.
Literally.
I'm going Io Sky. That's the obvious pick, and she needs to win. Liv Morgan winning is so asinine booking, and if she wins, somebody needs to be fired and creative. Liv Morgan winning defeats the entire concept of having the tournament. It would kill the tournament if Liv Morgan wins it. I'm going Io Sky to win this Queen of the Ring tournament. And we get Io and Liv here. Io wins this. I think they said that whoever wins the Queen and King of the Ring tournaments chooses any champion of their choice at SummerSlam. I thought it'd be their branch champion because all Io, Liv, Oba, and Jay are all from Raw, right? Io wins this. If Io wins this tournament and beats Liv, and we do Io and Liv a second time at SummerSlam, why do we care about it a second time at SummerSlam when we seen it the first time at Night of Champions? So Io wins this, but Io doesn't fight Liv at SummerSlam. She fights Rhea Ripley. Now that is SummerSlam. That screams SummerSlam. And there is a story there. I know, right? Wow. Story. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, story. Women's Championship, SummerSlam, Minneapolis. Boom. Story there where Rhea's never, ever beaten Io. And you can tell that story. That writes itself. And with SmackDown going back to 2 hours, and SmackDown could use all the help they can get, I think Io going to SmackDown would be a good move and moving over to switching to SmackDown. She's done everything on Raw. There's nothing left for her there. And the fact they broke up Lyra Valkyria and Bayley on Raw this past Monday night and turned Lyra heel, I think with them doing that as well, I would say why not move Io Sky to SmackDown? Why not? And who knows how bad Rhea Ripley's current knee injury is as well. That's another thing to think about. If Rhea makes it to SummerSlam, defends a championship, maybe she drops it to Io at SummerSlam and Rhea takes the time off. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But that's just a thought. And with Bayley, again, Bayley and Lyra split up this past Monday on Raw in London. Lyra went heel on Bayley. And those two needed to be split up anyway, let's be real. And Raw Women's Division could use that boost with splitting up Lyra and Bayley. Because they did that, now Io to SmackDown, I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't. I really don't. What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
I mean, I think obviously I think we've already said it, having your world champion, the King of the Ring is queen of the ring. Queen of the Ring in this case, having your women's champion and the Queen of the Ring is ridiculous. Like there's no sense, there's no logical sense for it to happen.
Zero.
SmackDown Women's Division, it's dreadful right now. Well, it's the best women's division right now.
Well, coming out of WrestleMania, before WrestleMania, Raw was the better women's division than SmackDown. Now coming out of Mania, almost like the tables turned. Now SmackDown is the better division with the women than Raw.
But I think in terms of storylines, I think they need a storyline. In terms of storylines, it's dire. It's dreadful. Yes. I think they need that spark, that big storyline in that division.
Rhea definitely helped big because she's the most over woman in the company. They had JC Jane, Fatal Influence, who are really good in their own right as well. Blake Monroe. They split up Juliet and Kiana James, which was the right move 100%. Julia's back as a babyface and fits much better as one. We got Blake Monroe on SmackDown, calling out Rhea and Tiffany and all this other stuff. Chelsea Green is a babyface mixing up with Tiffany, which I think is interesting. They need some. I think Io to SmackDown would be a very nice boost, and she's done everything on Raw.
Yeah, and then again, there's the story with Rhea. Rhea's never been Io. She's never pinned her or made her tap.
No. And it would make sense because Io helped Rhea beat Jade for the women's title at WrestleMania, so it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, again, it obviously depends, that Rhea is good to go. I hope she's good to go for SummerSlam and she's not hurt.
Right.
So if she's not hurt, that's your SummerSlam match for the women's championship.
Yep, and they steal the show.
So I'm going Io to win Queen of the Ring, and we get Queen Io.
Yeah, and we move her to SmackDown. We get Io Rhea for the women's title at SummerSlam in Minneapolis. That's your match. For the King of the Ring, this I'm very nervous on, and apparently, and I know these betting odds don't mean anything, but they're very kept under the vest quiet. Jey Uso. Why? I thought this Jey Uso singles push was over. He's not a singles wrestler. He is a tag team wrestler at best. He is not world title material. Oh, what about Michael Hayes? What if he complained? When he complained about Jey Uso when he was first world champion, he didn't even hold it for 2 months. Michael Hayes maybe have complained to the creative team in the back. I didn't get the opportunity to see Jey Uso. He didn't even get to be world champion for not even 2 months. Let's do Jey Uso more than 60 days this time. He never got that chance the last time a year ago. What? It would not shock me if that would be in the back. It would not surprise me.
Yeah. He sucked as a world champion. His matches were awful. He gave CM Punk the worst match of his career.
Yet there are people online that said that was Jey Uso's best match, the match with Punk last November.
He botched a neck breaker.
And Punk kicked him in the head and was so pissed that Jey botched it. It made Punk look bad.
Yeah, how do you make CM Punk look bad in the ring? How do you give him a bad match?
And he beats Javon Evans. Good match, but that's because Javon Evans carried him. And Javon should have won. Then he had this man Jey Uso beat LA Knight, Finn Balor, and Royce Keys. Why? You have this bloodline rehash. That's why the product is down right now. Just like Cody is champion right now.
This is why the shows feel stale. This is
Insane.
why there's no excitement.
Boring. No taking risks.
Like we're rehashing shit from 5 years ago.
oh, but you got to answer to the TKO and the corporate sponsors and Ari and Shapiro. Fuck that. Fuck that, okay? And do they really even know who the fuck this wrestler is or that wrestler is?
Yeah. Do you think Mark Shapiro and Ari Emanuel who know who the fuck Solo Sikoa is?
No. I doubt they even watched one day of wrestling in their lives.
You think they know who Tala Tonga is?
No. No.
They don't.
This King of the Ring is going to be very, very interesting and honestly nervous about. Does Brock Lesnar really come to Saudi and cost Oba the King of the Ring? Because Oba's been calling him out a lot lately.
That's the only way Jey Uso's going to win King of the Ring is if Brock Lesnar interferes.
And I hope to God that's not the fucking case.
Even
God
then,
help us
who
all.
wants to see?
If Jey Uso wins King of the Ring, I'm going the fuck off. And I'm holding zero back.
Even with a Brock Lesnar interference, on no fucking planet should Oba Femi be losing to the Yeet Man.
A guy who gets gassed out in 3 minutes, can't wrestle for shit, and he gets gassed out because
You gotta run it back.
oh, even Oba Femi said Monday on Raw, if you do that again, don't you dare do it again. And he did it again.
Because of course he did.
He even got destroyed by Oba on the mic this past Monday on Raw. To Jey Uso.
Yeah. Oba Femi, who's been in the professional wrestling business for 3 years, and here he is outclassing a 20-year veteran.
Yep, in Jey Uso.
How embarrassing.
He even said, he said something like, "Bo," like end of a line during a promo. Like he couldn't talk. Like he was terrible in this segment.
Like he looked tired.
After running it back again, which he shouldn't have done, he gets blown up in promos and matches so easy. And his cardio is terrible. They had this guy beat Gunther at WrestleMania last year in the most unbelievable, just unceremonious fashion last year at WrestleMania.
The most unrealistic way possible.
Had Gunther tap out like that.
Terrible.
This Jey Uso shit needs to stop. It is feeling like 2015 Roman Reigns when he was the big dog and Vince McMahon shoved him down our throats nonstop. That's how bad it is getting to that now.
To make a long story short,
if Jey Uso wins this, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. And I will go off on this. And I will hold absolutely, and I mean absolutely nothing back. Expect a very, very big rant if Jey Uso wins this shit. And if Jey wins, somebody, I don't care who it is in creative, I don't care who the fuck it is, somebody needs to be fired immediately on the damn spot if Jey Uso wins King of the Ring. And if he wins the championship at SummerSlam. And no, Cody and Jey is not SummerSlam worthy. Jey and Roman is not SummerSlam worthy. They had a terrible tribal combat match at SummerSlam in Detroit Ford Field at 2023 SummerSlam. That was terrible. What makes you think people want to see it again 3 years later? Oba Femi needs to win, no questions asked. And why would Brock even come out and cost Oba the tournament tomorrow anyway? Because didn't Lesnar beat Oba at Clash in Italy? So why would, I know Oba's been calling him out, but again, why would Lesnar come to Saudi, fly to Saudi, cost Oba the tournament when Lesnar already beat him at Clash in Italy? Wouldn't that be illogical if he came to Saudi to cost Oba the tournament when Lesnar already beat him at Clash in Italy? Wouldn't that be a logic gap?
If Brock Lesnar wanted to cost Oba Femi the King of the Ring, where was he on the Raw after Clash in Italy? Why didn't he interfere in the match against Dominic?
I don't fucking get that.
Like where was he? Or was he busy in Saskatchewan hunting deer? That's probably what he was doing, huh? Hunting moose and deer, fighting Godzilla.
I have a very, very bad feeling, bro, that Jey Uso's winning this, and God help us all if he wins.
Please no.
I'm going Oba Femi, but I have a very, very bad feeling inside that Jay's winning.
Oh,
Ricky then says, I think Jay wins and Gunther wins, then Gunther versus Jay 3 at SummerSlam.
don't give them
That
ideas.
no to. No to
Don't
that.
give them ideas.
Yeah, don't give them ideas, Ricky. That would be terrible. Terrible. Not even Sammy and Jay is SummerSlam worthy.
Jay versus Sammy, Jay versus Gunther, Jay versus Cody, Jay versus
Roman.
who else? Jay versus Roman.
Jay Uso.
Jay
LA
versus
Knight?
my
No.
next door neighbor.
Yeah, none of that is SummerSlam worthy. There's no difference.
Yeah. None of this is SummerSlam worthy. Jay Uso is not a SummerSlam main eventer.
If Jay Uso wins, I'm going right off.
But I'm going Oba. He should win.
Oba
He
too.
better win.
He needs to win. No questions asked. No ands, ifs, or buts. It's either Oba or bust. I'm going Oba winning, but I have a bad feeling Jay wins. If Jay wins, I will be absolutely pissed off. Jay Uso winning cannot happen. It can't. I don't care if you're a fan of Jay Uso or you're not a fan of Jay Uso. Jay Uso winning the King of the Ring tournament is one of the worst creative decisions in WWE history. In history. That cannot happen. Ever. That should not even be a thought in creative. Whoever in creative in the back, whoever in the back in creative thinks it's a good idea for Jay Uso to win the King of the Ring needs to be fired almost immediately on the damn spot. Zero, and I mean 0 questions asked. Whoever thinks that's a good idea needs to be fired ASAP. Period. And then we got looks like it may be the main event of the Night of Champions, the triple threat match for the WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is the most interesting thing in the WWE and on SmackDown right now. Facts.
His character work has been tremendous.
He's made Cody and Gunther a lot interesting than it already was. Going into Clash in Italy, Cody and Gunther good. Coming out, not so much. After that terrible shitty finish where Gunther had his leg underneath the rope at Clash in Italy. Why that was done, I have no idea. Now we have Sami Zayn involved in the mix. It's made it a lot better. And Sami, no doubt, will be a world champion. There's no doubt about it. I think Cody retains here, though, somehow, some way. But do I think this Cody-Sami thing is over? No, not by a long shot. I'm hoping Oba wins the tournament, not Jay, because if you have Oba win and not Jay, this frees up the SmackDown side. You have Cody defend against Punk or Sami. Cody, I think, retains here. But if you're going to do Cody and Sami for the direction for SummerSlam with Sami Zayn winning the WWE title from Cody at SummerSlam, then I would say Cody, I know Gunther should be pinned, period, but really, they've dropped the ball with Gunther. Let's be real. Where I think if Cody pinned Gunther, I don't think anyone would really give a shit much because Gunther's already miscast anyway. I don't want to see it, but I think the bigger interest is Sami and not Gunther. Go back to the drawing board with Gunther and kill the career gimmick, really. Do something else more interesting and better off with Gunther. You know, I love Gunther, he's great, but what have they done with him? Nothing. They've done fuck all with Gunther, and that's on creative, and shame on them. And shame on Paul Levesque for that
coming
too.
Out of retiring John Cena, and here he is in a WWE Championship feud where he is the most important guy in the feud.
Yeah,
he's the least interesting, and I like Gunther, but that's facts. He's the least interesting guy in this whole storyline.
If the direction is Sami and Cody for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, Cody retains at Night of Champions, but Cody pins Gunther. Sami doesn't eat the pinfall, and it leads to Cody and Sami at SummerSlam, and Sami finally wins the WWE Championship. Even if it's for a little while, just at least do something fresh and different. Stop playing it safe. Take a risk, you know. fuck the system a little bit, shake the system a little bit, like he did with Drew McIntyre as champion at the beginning of the year. That felt fresh and exciting, and SmackDown actually felt better and different and good again when McIntyre was champion. Sammy would say as champion would do the same thing, And Sammy's name's never been a world champ before. It'd be something exciting, different with him as champion. Cody's been boring, and Cody, in fact, needs to go heel. That would make the product much better off than it is now. It would change a lot for every single right reason with Cody Rhodes turning heel. And no, it would not be because of Dwayne Johnson. He can't even be bothered to show up. So no, it would not be because of The Rock. But if the direction is Cody and Sammy at SummerSlam and Sammy wins a WWE title at SummerSlam, I am all for that. I think Sammy should win tomorrow at Night of Champions. It was up to me, but I think Cody retains. And if Cody and Sammy's at the direction for SummerSlam, have Sammy, if he doesn't win it here, then wins it at SummerSlam. And if Sammy's WWE champion by the end of SummerSlam, look, if Cody and Sammy is what they want to do for SummerSlam and Sammy wins a title at SummerSlam, I am all for it. And I have no problem at all with that. In fact, Cody needs a long break from the WWE title. And Cody Rhodes as champion is actually holding SmackDown down. It's becoming boring and stale with him as champion. Cody is the face of the company. He doesn't need to be champion to show and prove it because he's already proven that. It's time for Cody to take a long break from the WWE title for a long while. Give fresh new blood on SmackDown a chance to be WWE champion on the Blue Brand on Friday nights. And you give that belt to Sami Zayn. That's what you do. And he's the most interesting thing on SmackDown and on WWE TV right now. Bar none. Take on this. I'm going to leave the floor to you for this.
I'm going with Sammy.
Really?
I'm going with Sammy.
Now, if Sammy wins, Cody, I think, would spring report he doesn't want to eat pins.
Where do these reports come from?
Well, I mean, I've heard stories where Cody doesn't like eating pins or doesn't like losing.
Don't believe them.
Or there's egos and he doesn't want to lose. Roman doesn't like losing.
I don't believe these reports. I mean, I'm sure there are egos, but come on.
Even if it's true, Cody needs to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Is he in it for himself, or is he going to do the right thing?
I think he's be willing to do the right thing.
I think even Cody, if you ask him behind private doors himself, do you want to go heel? I'm sure Cody would tell you yes, he wants to be a heel.
Yeah.
Cody is a heel trying so hard to be a babyface, but it's not. Cody just fits more better as a heel than a face, and he's overcoming all the odds like a Cena Hogan character. It doesn't work for him. Beating heels like McIntyre, Owens, Gunther, that shit gets tired very fast. People don't want to see that. That gets tiresome very quickly. And they're getting tired of this Cody Rhodes thing as champion. Him as the overcoming all the odds babyface. It's boring. It's boring. And that's got to change quick. At some point, it's got to change. It's stale. It's very, very stale. Sammy winning would offer different excitement.
So
you're going Sammy to actually win.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, he's red hot right now, and it's
Yeah.
Saudi as well. I mean, why wouldn't you want to give him the championship? In front of the Saudi people.
What if Cody retains though, but he pins Sammy because I know they don't want to pin Gunther, and then Cody doesn't want to lose. Cody needs to do the right thing and put Sammy over. And Gunther losing a triple threat, is it really going to hurt Gunther because they've dropped the ball on Gunther? I don't think so.
No.
Just do the right thing and listen to the fans for once, at least, and just belt Sammy. Even if it's for at least a month. So what?
Yeah.
I
mean, you have nothing to lose. If anything, you have everything to gain.
Just try it out with Sammy. Even if it's for a month and Cody wins it back, fine. At least do something.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, you got nothing to lose with Sammy as champion. Is it really going to hurt or harm you? Oh, but Sami Zayn's a vanilla midget. He's a B+ player. He's too small. Him as champion would kill the ratings and kill SmackDown and the prestige of the WWE title. He's not a world champion. He's not world title material. He's a mid-carder at best. He is a world championship material guy. So don't even give me that crap.
225 pound Sami Zayn, by the way, but vanilla picture. Yeah, sure.
Oh, but he's a B+ player. He's he's a vanilla midget. He's too small.
I guess 6'2" is small then.
Like he's like Daniel Bryan, too small.
Oh my god. So this is where we're at with the fan base, folks.
Like, you don't have to be all muscled up and all 6'6", 6'5" to be a world champion. That concept's dead.
Yeah.
They need like Sami as champion would not kill the ratings. The ratings are already down in the drain. And it's the creative. If the creative was better, it'd be a much different story. Sami as champion, I don't see it as a bad idea. I don't. Just take a chance on Sami.
Yeah.
Like
how many times he's already lost world title matches?
How bad can it be with Sami? And let me tell you something. It wouldn't be at all.
Like how many times he's lost a world title match? How many times he's lost a WWE Championship match? Like would it hurt to give him at least a one world title reign?
Yeah, just at least once. It wouldn't kill you. It wouldn't absolutely not. It wouldn't hurt you at all.
Yeah.
They need to do the right thing. I think Cody retains, but at least by the end of SummerSlam, Sami needs to be champion. He needs to be WWE champion to Sami Zayn by the end of SummerSlam. If he's not, we got a big problem. That's an easy slam dunk for Triple H. If we don't do it, I don't know what we're doing. That's your Night of Champions portion of this video. Moving on to NXT Great American Bash. We got 7 matches on this show. 7 matches. Can you believe that? On NXT PLE. This is the first NXT PLE on the CW app / CW network. Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Been feeling a little sick lately, so I apologize on that, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah. Adam Carl returns. Going to the NXT portion of this video. Let me hold this up. Here we go. So, NXT Great American Bash portion of the show. We'll begin with that. It's the first NXT PLE on CW app. I think whether it's on CW Network or the app, I'm not sure. But either way, I will be watching. Looking like a good card. It'll be at the Performance Center in Orlando for the NXT Great American Bash. 7 matches. This is what the card looks like right here. We got Shiloh Hill versus Tristan Angels. Filler, I don't really care for much on that. Dion Lennox versus Shaquan Sugars. Singles match. Not high on Dark State, but at least there's a story with Shaquan Sugars kicked out of Dark State. So that's interesting there a little bit. We got Ren Sinclair versus Ariana Grace for the women's speed title. Okay, I don't care much about that. And then we got Zarya versus Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's North American title. That should be very, very good. They had a banger on NXT a few weeks ago where Zarya won the North American title off Tatum Paxley. This should be no different. And then we got the 3 other matches. The North American title match for the men. Miles Bourne versus Tavion Heights. NXT Championship match between Tony D'Angelo and Nakaru. And then the NXT Women's title match between Lola Vice and Kendall Gray, which I believe I read on X the other day is the main event of the Great American Bash, which I think is the right call 100%. Kendall and Lola, honestly, I think steal the show the whole weekend, hands down, not just Sunday. The whole weekend, hands down. But my predictions for that show, I am going Nakaru winning the NXT title. I think we get Takahashi debuting in WWE and NXT, helping Nakaru win the NXT title. I think we got a new NXT champion in Nakaru. I think we get I think we get Miles Bourne retaining the North American title. I think we get Ariana Grace winning the women's speed title. I have a feeling because of this birthright stuff they've been doing lately in NXT. I think we get Shaquan Sugar. I think we get Dion Lennox via numbers game from Dark State beating Shaquan Sugars. I don't think this is over. I think Zarya retains over Tatum Paxley, and Tatum Paxley, after the Bash, gets called up to the main roster onto Raw to be in the middle of the Bayley and Lyra Valkyria feud on Raw. Shiloh Hill versus Tristan Angels. I think Tristan Angels wins this. Then Lola Vice and Kendall Gray. I am going Miss Kendall Gray to beat Lola Vice and become the brand new NXT Women's Champion, be the standard bearer for that women's division in NXT, and then afterwards Lola Vice gets called up to the main roster after the Great American Bash, in my opinion. Are my overall predictions for the NXT Great American Bash show. Should be a good show. That's looking like a much better show than Forbidden Door, to be very honest with you, and it's not hard to see why. But I don't know when Adam Carl comes back in here. I don't know when he's coming back, but hopefully he's back soon. But yeah, I'm not sure when he's coming back, but I'm hoping soon. Sorry, guys, if I take my sip.
And I'm back.
Aha. Yes, the man Adam Carl's return. But quickly and over to NXT Great American Bash for the 7 matches on the card. I am going Nakaru winning the NXT title, Miles Bourne retaining the North American title, Ariana Grace winning the women's speed title, Dion Lennox beating Shaquan Sugars, Zarya retaining the women's North American title, Tristan Angels beating Shiloh Hill, and Kendall Gray in the main event winning the NXT women's title. Not sure who you got.
I think I agree with all those choices. I agree.
Because with the Kendall Gray, man, I think this is their time. This is her 3rd crack at the NXT women's title, by the way. Lost at New Year's Evil the beginning of the year to JC Jane one-on-one. Lost a triple threat at Stand Delivered to JC Jane and Lola Vice, where Lola won the championship in St. Louis, at the factory in St. Louis, early April this year. Kendall Gray has to win the championship, I feel.
Her time is now.
Yes. She is awesome. She is so fucking good, Kendall Gray. A literal female Kurt Angle is Kendall Gray. Dude, it's her time. The time is now for Greg Raps, Kendall Gray. Kendall Gray is the future. It's her time. And no, not Ren Sinclair costing her the championship. No, we give the belt to Kendall Gray. This is her time. And I think Lola Vice gets called up to SmackDown after the Bash, because her boyfriend Damian Priest is on SmackDown. Kendall Gray and Lola Vice could very well steal the show the entire weekend. May even outshine AEW. And I seen Kendall Gray's recent comments on Dave Meltzer, by the way. And I smiled when I read it. Do you see
She's
that?
intelligent. She's smart.
She's like, she like what she said. It's like I saw these comments and like I don't like really. She pretty much buried Dave Meltzer.
Yeah.
Pretty much saying the dirt sheets know nothing. And I laughed and I smiled what reading that. See, Kendall Gray knows. Don't listen to these dirt sheets.
She knows.
She knows they're paid off by Tony Khan, and they will never say anything bad about AEW when it's bad because they don't want to lose their media passes and they want to be in Tony Khan's good spirits because they want to beg for a job. Where Tony Khan doesn't know them and is not going to hire them. You know, but Kendall, Lola, I think we both got Kendall on the board. And Lola gets called up.
The women's champion. I think it's time for Lola as well to get the call up.
She's been there for 3 years. I mean, she's been ready. She should have been called up months ago.
Yeah.
And
I honestly thought she would have gotten the call up. I thought she was going to get the call up after WrestleMania, and she would have been the one to take the pin and send it delivery.
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, I think SmackDown's a likely destination because her boyfriend Damian Priest is there, and SmackDown could use some help, and Lola Vice would inject that excitement. And the fact she was a UFC star and the TKO and Ari Shapiro with the WWE UFC TKO, I think Lola could have success on the main roster? Yes, I do think for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with what she came from with UFC, I think she stands a good chance on the main roster, just based off that alone. I don't trust the main roster much at all these days, but if for once I can trust them with Lola, I think. Then Nakaru and Tony D. I think Nakaru wins, and I think Tony D also gets called up to the main roster.
Nakaru just joined some months ago.
Yeah, another guy should have been called up a long time ago. Nakaru, I think, wins. I think we get Takahashi from New Japan coming into NXT. I think he helps Nakaru win the championship.
Yeah.
You know? And then, the rest, yeah. And then the, moving on to Slammiversary. This is going to be interesting because we got Road Dogg starting. I think it looks like he's coming in this weekend to replace Tommy Dreamer in creative. Yeah, good old Tommy Dreamer. Same guy who thought Mike Santana winning at Bound for Glory instead of Slammiversary in New York was a better move, which it wasn't. Then he had Mike Santana have 0 title defenses and lose it in 30 days and 50 seconds to Frankie Kazarian.
Embarrassing.
I'm glad Tommy Dreamer's not in creative anymore. I respect him. He's a legend, much respect, but I don't think, but he didn't cut it as a creative mind.
He couldn't cut the mustard.
Yeah, Carlos Silva, who's a cut, but it's like Tommy Dreamer didn't help make it any better. Road Dogg, he was bad with SmackDown last year, but I think with this case, they'll give Road Dogg a shot, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. So I guess this changes what was needed. Yeah. We'll see how Road Dogg does his TNA with creative, but he's working with Delirious or whatever have you with Carlos Silva. They're bringing Apollo Crews to TNA apparently as well. He's worked with Road Dogg before, so we'll see what happens. We got Slammiversary. We got 1 pre-show match and 9 main show matches. The pre-show is Mara Sade, Elena Black, and Indy Hartwell in a 3-way match. Should be pretty good. I'm not sure who I'm going to go with. Could go either way. I'm actually going to go with Elena Black.
They're going with Elena.
Yeah, I think she wins somehow because she's the heel. And then we got the Ultimate X match for the X Division title with Cedric Alexander, Leon Slater, Frankie Kazarian, Mr. Elegance, Fabian Eichner, Casey Navarro, and the Amazing Red, which I'm looking forward to, a TNA original. That should be great. And he's also from HOG. Shout out to HOG, House of Glory, by the way. He's a trainer for HOG. He's a great dude and a respected veteran in the business. He's one of the best. So much respect to Amazing Red. And once again, shout out to House of Glory. He does really great work there. But X Division match. I think Cedric retains here.
Yeah, I think Cedric also wins.
Yeah, I think there's no reason to take
to take the X Division title off of him.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cedric retains. Yeah, he just won it too, so I'm going Cedric Alexander on the board here. The Elegance brand, Heather and M by Elegance versus Rosemary and Ali for the Knockouts title. Yeah, moving on.
I'm going with Rosemary and Ali.
Yeah, the Elegance brand sucks. I'm going Rosemary and Ali too.
Not much to say.
Yeah. Eric Young versus Ricky Sosa. This should be good. But I'm going Ricky Sosa.
I'm going with Ricky too.
Man, is he over, Ricky Sosa.
Yeah.
I'm going Ricky Sosa. Mustafa Ali in an open challenge match for the TNA International title versus a mystery opponent. I think this is where we get Apollo Crews.
Yeah. I think
this is where we get Apollo Crews.
Yeah, same thing. I think we see the debut of Apollo Crews or Uha Nation.
Yeah, that's his indie name. Uha Nation, whatever you call it.
I think we split. Yeah, I think this is where we see Crews. There,
Apollo Crews. In his smiley white teeth. And it's smiling.
Yeah.
But we got Nigeria versus I think Mustafa Ali's Pakistan, but he's from Chicago.
Yeah. Nigeria versus Pakistan.
Pakistan versus Nigeria. But it's for the international title. Should be very good either way. I think Mustafa Ali retains, though, but should be a very, very good match to start Apollo Crews off the right way in TNA, if this is the mystery opponent for Ali. And I'm liking what Mustafa Ali is doing, man. He's truly reinvented himself. Loving what he's doing over there. And then we got Moose versus Eddie Edwards in a no-surrender match.
What is a no-surrender match?
I wish I could tell you, bro.
Is it an I Quit match?
I think so. But I'm going to go Moose to win here. I'm going to go Moose.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Moose as well.
Knockouts title match. Lei Ying Lee versus Zaya Brookside. Remember when they had Ye Ling Yi get pinned by Mr. Elegance on Impact a while ago in a mixed tag team match? Yeah, terrible, I know. No wonder Tommy Dreamer got removed as head of creative. I'm going Ye Ling Yi, Lei Ying Lee to retain. Who are you going with?
Yeah. I'm going with Lei Ying Yi as well.
Okay. The System versus the Hardy Boys versus the Righteous versus the Great Hands, Jason Hotch and John Schuyler. It's a four-way ladder match for the TNA World Tag Team titles. It was supposed to be a triple threat ladder match for the tag titles with the Hardys, the Righteous, and the System of Brian Myers and Bear Bronson. But now it's a fatal four-way now, including the Grand Hands of Jason Hotch and John Schuyler. I'm going the Hardy Boys. I'm going the Matt and Jeff to retain. Matt and Jeff Hardy.
I'm going with Great Hands.
Great Hands. Oh, ooh.
Yeah, I'm going.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting.
I think that they're aligned with Ali, right?
I think so. Yeah, the Great Hands.
They are part of Mustafa Ali's group. I'm going with them.
Okay. Not a bad choice. Go the Hardys, but that's okay. See what happens. Should be a good match, though. This may even steal the pay-per-view this night, specific pay-per-view. I mean, you got AJ Francis versus Elijah, where if Elijah loses, Francis will own his name, likeness, and music catalog. Moving on. Yeah, moving on. The less I talk about AJ,
I'm going with Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah too. The less I say about AJ Francis, the better. Or $0. And then we got the main event, the TNA World Title match with Mike Santana defending the TNA World Title against Nick Nemeth. As this is Nemeth's Call Your Shot championship match. That's like that TNA ripping off WWE Money in the Bank briefcase with the feast you're fired kind of a thing. That dumb concept.
Yeah.
I'm going Nick Nemeth to win, and he wins the championship. And I think this is Mike Santana's last stand in TNA, as his TNA contract is expiring coming July soon, and he is pretty much set at as a lock at this point to be WWE bound. I think this is Mike Santana's last match at TNA as he gets ready to make the move to WWE. That's what I think. I think we can both agree on the board here on this. And man, Mike Santana has really come into his own. From a tag team guy in LAX, then he was in AEW, other Impact when it was just Impact Wrestling, going to AEW with the Inner Circle of Chris Jericho. Then he didn't want to team with Ortiz with LAX anymore. He left. He split from a tag team with Ortiz and LAX, and everyone thought Mike Santana wasn't going to do well on his own. He proved everybody wrong. Kills it in HOG on his own and on the Indies, and in TNA. Mike Santana, man, what a story. And he is a world title material guy. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, he's a mid-card guy at best. He's not a world title kind of a caliber guy. And to say Mike Santana is not a world champion, that's not even an opinion, bro. That's stupidity. That's like saying Gunther sucks as a wrestler. That's stupidity. It's not even an opinion. I'm going Nick Nemeth to win the championship. Mike Santana goes to WWE after this. Thoughts on this whole thing?
Yeah, I think it's time. I think Nick Nemeth becomes champion. I think this ends up being like Mike Santana's final TNA match.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done everything he could do, honestly. He's at the top of his game right now. I think he's ready to make that big move.
Yes.
Honestly, I would put him on NXT right away. Whenever his TNA deal is up, he should be on NXT as soon as possible.
Yeah. And if Tony D gets called up, bring in Mike Santana. Even if he's just there for a cup of coffee, get his feet wet a little bit. Then he goes to the main roster sometime next year. Maybe have Mike Santana beat Tony D or Nakaru for the NXT title. Give it to Mike Santana. Very well could. So, yeah, this should be good here. Santana and Nemeth. But then we move on to Forbidden Door. Give me the not so Forbidden Door. I know, and Adam Carl's expression says it all about Forbidden Door, ladies and gentlemen. AKA Hell in a Cell 2.0. AKA TLC 2.0. Forbidden Door is a dead concept. After this year, get fucking rid of it. Forbidden Door needs to go. It is an irrelevant waste of our time pay-per-view. I'm not even ordering the pay-per-view. I'm not even watching the fucking show. I'm not. You couldn't pay me to watch that shit. To watch that slop for like 4 hours until 1 o'clock in the morning. So far, we have 2 matches on the pre-show and 9 matches on the main show. Pre-show is Sky Blue versus Micah in a TBS Championship Survival of the Fittest qualifying match. Who cares? Women's World Tag Team title match between the Divine Dominion versus Thunder Rosa and Olympia. Who cares? And it's predictable. Megan Bain and Lena Cross of Divine Dominion are not losing. So why even have the match? That's your pre-show. Completely irrelevant. And then we got Cope and Cage versus the Dogs, David Finlay and Clark Connors for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Cope and Cage, I think, retain here. Why are we doing this match? Why?
This is an AEW tag team versus AEW tag team.
Forbidden Door, you say, yeah? Yeah, sure thing. But it's Forbidden Door.
Sure.
Next, we got the Young Bucks versus El Sky team of Místico and Máscara Dorada versus the Unbound Co. of Shingo Takagi and Titan.
Must be kidding me.
Who cares? Like, who could honestly give a shit?
That is the best you got for the Young Bucks. Mascarita Dorada and Místico against Titan. And who's his partner?
And his partner is Shingo Takagi.
Shingo Takagi.
Yeah,
I like Shingo.
That's 21-28 says it's pronounced Takagi.
Shingo Takagi.
Takai. He also says, rest in peace, Joe Doring. Yeah, I did see that.
I found out.
Very sad. Rest in peace to Joe Doring, and sending my thoughts, prayers, and love to his family. Those affected by his loss, man. Very, very, very sad. I think he had brain cancer. He was in hospice.
He's been battling cancer multiple times.
Wasn't he the one recently reported that he was entering hospice?
Yeah.
Because he's been battling some brain cancer.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, Mets 21-22 says yes, brain cancer. It's actually what one of my uncles had back in the spring a few months ago in March, and very end of March, he passed away.
It's awful.
It was very bad brain cancer, and he came home, was in hospice, and was a fighter till the end. So that's awful. That is terrible about Joe Doring. Sending my condolences to the family and friends that loved him so much. That's terrible.
It's tragic. He was only 44 years old.
Yeah, that was just not old. And fuck cancer, by the way. Cancer sucks too. I need to throw that out there too. That is that's horrible. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for Joe Doring in this family. That's terrible. But moving up, so with this Young Bucks match, three-way match, I mean, I don't care. The Young Bucks have not been in anything relevant in a long time. I don't know what we're doing with them and why are they in this match. It doesn't mean anything. There's nothing on the line. I think the Bucks win, but what does it mean? Nothing.
Nothing.
Just like Kenny Omega and Zack Sabre Jr., that means nothing. That's one of the very few Forbidden Door matches that feels like Forbidden Door. But at the same time, what does it accomplish? There's nothing on the line. It's just the match. It's just the match. You can have a good match, but if there's no story reason to care, how can you care? You can't. You can't.
You can't get people to care without a storyline.
Facts. Kenny Omega, Zack Sabre Jr. I think Kenny Omega wins, but again, what is it going to mean? Nothing at the end of the day. It accomplishes nothing. We got Jon Moxley versus Bandito for the AEW Continental Championship. Forbidden Door, you say, correct?
Yeah. Contracted AEW talent Bandito challenging AEW contracted talent Jon Moxley for the Continental Championship.
But this is Forbidden Door, guys.
Sure.
Mets 2128 even says, is there a reason for this match? No. Zero. It's just matches. There's no stories, no substance. It's all matches, no story. Oh, but it's a good match. You need more than that to care.
Like, what is the reason? Why is Bandito going after Jon Moxley? Last time I checked, the Death Riders did not even go after Bandito.
They've not crossed paths. There's nothing to do with each other. Why are we doing this match? Why? I'm going Jon Moxley to retain here. Bandito's great, but why are we doing this match? Why? Moxley, I think, retains. Shota Umino defends the IWGP Global Heavyweight title against the Death Riders Pack.
So it's Death Riders against Death Riders.
Do you genuinely care for this at a scale of 1 to 10? How much do you care?
-10.
I don't blame you.
Why is this match happening?
Ask Tony Khan. What the fuck do we know, right?
He will probably not even give an answer.
Mets 2128 says, other than maybe to give John a Ring of Honor World title match down the line, but that would be a downgrade.
On no fucking planet should Jon Moxley be downgraded to Ring of Honor.
That would be I can't even begin to describe you how fucking god awful that would be. So fucking atrocious that would be. Holy shit. Could you imagine?
Oh, God. No.
Fuck no. I think Umino retains here. I don't even care for this match. There's no story. What does this mean? There's no story. Oh, but it's Forbidden Door. You complain about it's not Forbidden Door. This is where you have Forbidden Door, yet you still complain.
Have we seen Shota Umino on AEW television?
The answer is no, bro.
Exactly.
Answer is no.
Why should we care about this match?
Yeah, what does this mean at the end of the day in the grand scheme of things, bro? What does it mean?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. We got Thekla defending the women's world title against Starlight Kid. This is one of the few outside of Omega and Sabre Jr. One of the very few outside of that match that feels like Forbidden Door. This I'm actually looking forward to. One of the few matches I'm looking forward to.
It actually has a storyline to it.
Yes.
Actually has purpose.
Exactly. Thekla, I think, retains, though, but this should be very good.
Yeah. I'm going with Thekla as well.
Mets 2128. There kind of is a story between it, but you have to watch recent New Japan content. Dude, I don't really watch New Japan. I watch enough wrestling with WWE and AEW, TNA. It's enough wrestling. And AAA, that's a lot of wrestling to watch.
I'm assuming he's talking about Shota Umino and Pac. Here's the thing: if you want people to actually care, why don't you have Shota Umino show up on AEW television? Why don't you have him in segments with Moxley and different members of the Death Riders?
Yeah. Moving on to the next match. We got, like I mentioned, Kenny Omega and Zack Sabre Jr. should be a banger match, but again, there's no story. And what are they doing with the Bucks and what are they doing with Omega? When was the last time they did something even memorable in AEW? Now it feels like they're just going through the motions, and it should not ever be like that because you got the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, one of the best tag teams on the entire planet in the entire industry, and Kenny Omega, one of the best wrestlers in the world and on the planet as well. And they got them doing literally not, and they're literally doing not much of anything right now in AEW that's even memorable that you can sink your teeth into, and that's a shame. You know, I'm not the only one who feels that way, and I'm not wrong when I think that and say that. Should be a good match, Omega and Sabre Jr., but, I mean, who cares? It's just a match. It's literally all it is, just a match. We then got the Owen Cup for the women and for the men, right? For the women, we got Mercedes Moné versus Maya World. And the winner of this gets a women's world title match at All In. I'm going Mercedes Moné, and I think she wins the title All In, by the way, against Thekla. But Mercedes beats Maya World. Why was Mercedes Moné and Athena not the Women's Cup Finals, bro?
They need someone to replace Willow Nightingale.
I mean, I like Maya World, but it's like, why we couldn't get Athena and Mercedes in the finals?
I don't understand.
And Maya World's not winning, by the way. I would be shocked if Maya World wins the Women's Cup. I doubt it.
I'm actually going to go bold here. I'm actually thinking Maya wins this.
Really? You're going Maya World.
Here's why. I think that they're having Mercedes carrying this Owen Championship belt. It's the last championship that she has because she has lost every other belt in the last year.
Okay.
So she's still, she's still going around with the belt, even though it can't even be defended in a match. Although she's defending the Owen itself because she was last year's winner. It's the one thing that she hasn't lost yet. Okay. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe she's carrying the belt. Maybe they go with the shocker. I'm going with Maya World.
Okay.
I still think Mercedes becomes the women's world champion, but I think she beats Thekla at Redemption. And you build to Mercedes versus Maya Part 2 at Wembley Stadium.
You could probably do that. But yeah, but that's your women's Owens Cup right there. We got the
but the other thing, Forbidden Door.
Or Mets or Mets hold, I thought. Mets 21-28 or at All Out.
I don't know. I still think Mercedes somehow finds a way to be in the women's world title match. I think she goes into All In as the champion.
Yeah.
Face Maya again.
And then
but you notice two contracted AEW talents facing off at Forbidden Door. But it's Forbidden Door, the one time a year where AEW and New Japan go head to head. Yeah.
Sure. Speaking of Forbidden Door, men's Owen Cup, Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. Two contracted AEW professional wrestlers. But Forbidden Door, you say, correct? Yeah, right.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I wonder why people are not excited for this paper.
You see, there's a pattern here. There's a pattern here, ladies and gentlemen.
You see why people are not excited for this pay-per-view.
And Mets, I could not agree more. This Owen Cup for the men, give it to Will Ospreay. I think Will Ospreay beats Swerve Strickland. This should be a banger, one of the better matches of the night. But why is it Forbidden Door when this is not a Forbidden Door match? Though it's a men's Owen Cup, but it's like Forbidden Door, yeah. More like the not so Forbidden Door. But I digress. Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. Will Ospreay wins the tournament, beats Swerve Strickland. I think you get Will Ospreay going to All in Wembley and he wins the title there. But I think Ospreay wins this tournament. I do. And I agree with you, Mets. I'm going Will Ospreay to win as well. And he should.
Yeah. This is his tournament. This is his tournament. There's no other outcome.
Swerve is great, but we've been there, done that with Swerve as world champion a couple years ago. This is it's Will Ospreay's time. It's his time.
He's got to win the Owen. This is what you've been this is what you've been building this tournament around. This guy you've been building it around. Will Ospreay.
If Will Ospreay doesn't win this tournament, this is a complete bust. Just like with Oba Femi and Jey Uso King of the Ring, it's either Oba or bust. Men's Owen Cup, same exact formula. It's either Will Ospreay or bust. No ands, ifs, or buts. And then the main event of Forbidden Door. Listen to this. It is a steel cage match. Team Briscoe of Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Konosuke Takeshita, and Darby Allin versus Team MJF of MJF and the Don Callis families, Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher, Andrade El Idolo, Kazuchika Okada, and Jake Doyle. It's a 6-on-6 steel cage match where if Briscoe's team wins, Mark Briscoe earns an AEW title match against MJF. I think Team Briscoe wins, and we get Briscoe versus MJF for the AEW World Title at Redemption in Montreal in July. But why this match at Forbidden Door? Or the not so Forbidden Door? But you say Forbidden Door, correct? Yeah, right, buddy. Yeah, right.
6 contracted AEW talents against 6 contracted AEW talents.
But it's Forbidden Door, buddy.
This is so laughable. This is a pay-per-view main event. The conglomeration, the comedy characters, comedy group against the Don Callis family.
Name me one of a more worse faction than the Don Callis family.
It's 4 hours, right? Forbidden Door is 4 hours. You could basically make a 4-hour show just by Don Callis family members alone.
Yeah, 1 to 2 hour show with the Don Callis family members. They have 24 fucking members of that group, bro.
Oh my God, this is your Forbidden Door main event. AEW talents against AEW talents.
And Mark Briscoe's team is gonna win.
This match makes no sense. Like legitimately,
Zero sense,
like if
bro.
Mark Briscoe's team wins, Mark Briscoe only gets a world title shot. Like, apart from the fact that this match is absolute nonsense. You mean to tell me that if a team wins, only one guy will get a championship match? Like, why can't Roderick Strong get a world title match? Why can't Kyle O'Reilly get a world title match? Or Orange Cassidy? Darby Allin just lost the AEW World Championship at Double or Nothing. Shouldn't he be having a rematch clause?
Yeah.
Think this makes sense.
I'm going Team Mark Briscoe to win. It's
head scratching.
This shit sucks, bro. It sucks. I mean, I was thinking like, oh, MJF teams with the not so demand. I mean, we didn't get that, but the Don Callis family is equally as bad as the Demand and the Dogs, the War Dogs. This is terrible.
Yeah, I'm going with Team Mark Briscoe. I think he gets the win.
Do you think they pin the champion MJF here?
I will not be surprised.
Me neither.
Honestly, now that you said it, I think they do. They're gonna have Mark Briscoe pin MJF.
Could you imagine they actually pin MJF?
It would not shock me. Then again, they had him be squashed by Darby Allin and Brody King. Would you be surprised?
Would you put it past Tony Khan? No, I wouldn't, and they wouldn't either.
No.
I mean, he's most likely losing it to Will Ospreay Allin anyway. So, what are we doing? They really dropped the ball on MJF's title reign big time. He should have never ever lost to the Darby in April the way he did. And the only reason they did it was to take Thunder away from WrestleMania 42, which failed big time. The plan didn't work at all. We got open challenges for the AEW title every week on Dynamite, which devalued the prestige of that championship. MJF wins it back at Double or Nothing, where the stipulation was where if MJF would have lost, he would have had to get his head shaved bald. Terrible stipulation. So MJF wins it back, still doing open challenges every week on Dynamite for the AEW title. Now he's in this waste of time BS with Mark Briscoe and the conglomeration and friends. And Darby Allin. Still feuding with Darby Allin, even though Darby lost the title back to MJF at Double or Nothing. So they're still feuding. Now he's going to fight Mark Briscoe at Redemption. He's going to beat Mark Briscoe. Very predictable. Then he's going to lose to Ospreay All In. When it would have been much better, like where you know how if MJF never lost the title to begin with, period, in April, it would have held the title from December World's End last year to 2025, up until All In this August in Wembley, dropping into Will Ospreay would be MJF, and MJF didn't lose the title at all this past April. Do you know how much more impactful it would be for Ospreay to beat MJF at Wembley if that was the case? Now MJF lost it to Darby in April, only to win it back a month later. Now he's going to lose it to Will Ospreay's MJF at Wembley. And now what's the impact going to be? How much is it going to feel big and mean?
Nothing.
Or I mean, it may, or even, I mean, feel big, yes, but not as big as it would be if MJF never lost the damn thing in April. Would have been a lot bigger. Now it's going to be big, but not as big. And Tony Khan fucked up, and has no one, and he's to blame. It's a shame. And Tony dropped the ball big time. I love MJF, but it's like have they done that man any favors? No. As champion, no. They had him lose to Darby Allin the way they had him lose him in 90 seconds. A low blow with the referee not looking. Then MJF gets a low blow of his own from Darby. Multiple coffin drops and a headlock takeover pin. And that was it. What happened in April. He should have never lost a thing from the beginning. That's what really stifled a lot of his momentum this year as champion. And you can thank Tony Khan for that. Awful. And don't be shocked if MJF, the world champion, gets pinned again here on Sunday. That would not shock me, period. Tony Khan must have a real good fun getting a big kick out of pinning his world champion MJF, huh?
He must have. I don't know what he has against them.
He must be doing it for
what
fun.
What did MJF do? Did he piss on his teeth?
Yeah, did he get him the wrong coffee?
I don't know. Did they give him the wrong burrito?
I don't know, but this is awful. Forbidden Door, after this year, needs to go away for at least 3-4 years. The concept is dead. Get rid of it. Like how when Triple H took over for Vince, he got rid of Hell in a Cell. He got rid of TLC. They need to get rid of Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door is now like Hell in a Cell. When Vince McMahon was in charge, he had Hell in a Cell every year because it was the month of October. A gimmick pay-per-view that watered down the match type. And it felt not important anymore. He had Hell in a Cell every October. Didn't feel special anymore. Oh, month of Hell, October, Hell in a Cell every year. Month of December every year, TLC. And then he did the same thing with Extreme Rules. Remember Extreme Rules? Another gimmick pay-per-view that went away. Triple H, when he took over for Vince in 2022, he built Extreme Rules where it felt like Extreme Rules, but there's not been one Extreme Rules PLE or pay-per-view ever since then. I wonder why. Though Extreme Rules 2022 was highly praised, but it's hard to do. But it's like to do Extreme Rules, feel like Extreme Rules every year. That's like a gimmick pay-per-view. Just, have it go away. When Vince was in charge, Extreme Rules didn't feel extreme at all much. It's just Extreme Rules was the same thing as a gimmick pay-per-view that had to go away, and it went away. The only gimmick pay-per-view that makes sense honestly, bro, is the Elimination Chamber. That is it. Money in the Bank, I would say, needs to go away. And have the Money in the Bank matches return at WrestleMania. And have WrestleMania have WrestleMania feel its luster, because AJ Styles said WrestleMania has lost its luster. It's a luster by giving back WrestleMania the Money in the Banks. They need to get rid of the Money in the Bank gimmick pay-per-view, have it go away, and bring back the Money in the Banks to WrestleMania. One for the women on night 1, the other for the men on night 2. Easy. You know, Forbidden Door is now a gimmick pay-per-view like the WWE gimmick pay-per-views. It needs to go away. Plain and simple. If you don't think that, then something is wrong with you. Plain and simple. I'm not even watching Forbidden Door. I'm not. It's not worth the $50. Save your money.
Slammiversary and Great American Bash look more interesting.
Yeah. Then what is it, $50 for Forbidden Door? Don't even waste your $50. I'm saving my $50. But that is your episode 30 of Forbidden Podcast, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. What a big 30 was, and to many more. 30.
It was fun doing it, being a realist here.
Absolutely. Imagine what's going to be episode 31 next week.
Hope everybody had a great June, and we're going into July and Independence Day.
America's 250th birthday and 4th of July, Independence Day. There will be no Forbidden Podcast on the day of 4th of July, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there. There will be no Forbidden Podcast episode on holidays. Throwing that out there. What?
But we want everyone to enjoy their holidays.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, looking very, very likely July 2nd, July 3rd of next week will be the next episode for episode 31 of Forbidden Podcast. So, look out for that for the next week for episode 31. But make sure you hit that like on, hit the bell for all notifications, support the channel, helps in the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you go do that. Follow me on X, FiorioNick579, Adam Carl on X at AdamCarl2005, Nicholas Fiore 31 on Facebook, Instagram at Nicholas Fiore 2014, TikTok at FioriousNation as well. Adam Carl, any other words before we get out of here?
I'm looking forward to episode 31.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I would have to say.
Hopefully there's more wrestling news. Hopefully it's a good wrestling weekend this weekend, and hopefully we get some more news coming into the next week. As we coming out of this weekend, now as next week we start the official road to SummerSlam in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And Saturday night's main event in Madison Square Garden, July the 18th in MSG. I will not be at that Saturday night's main event in MSG, New York City. I will be at ACW Independence Day at Poughkeepsie, New York, the MJN Convention Center that night of the Saturday night's main event, where it'll be Tommy Dreamer versus Sent to Slaughter manager, tag team manager, Josh Chernoff.
Let's hope Josh wins.
Well, not a big fan of Sent to Slaughter. I mean, I've had spats with Sean Donovan as Sent to Slaughter, but I digress. But we'll see. But we do got Killer Cross versus Matt Riddle for the ACW Championship. That should be a banger. Looking forward to that. So, starting off, ending the month of June strong, starting the month of July strong, as we head officially into the summertime. My favorite time of the year, the summer. Love the summer. So, enjoy the rest of your Friday, guys. And happy summer, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Take care of you guys. We love every single one of you. We'll see you next week for episode 31, July 2nd or July 3rd. But for next week's episode 31 of Forbidden Podcast. See you guys later. Peace out.
Break it down.